Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Right, let's see. Got all that working. That does look good. Audio levels are good.
Advert, and then once the advert was done, it's just Vanguard going Star Trek.
Star Trek? Star Trek.
Yes. But you've turned into the Star Trek Pokemon. So, welcome to the Invasion Session 69. I'm Ryan, the GM. It's the 20th of October 2021. Nice. And here are the players.
Sorry, I was caught off guard. I had a chip in my mouth. I am Tom, the barber, playing Eltris, the barbar.
Oh God.
Welcome to 69. Thanks.
Nice.
Evening all, I'm Chris. Tonight I'm going to be playing Keldrath, the Dragonborn Monk.
Good evening. I am an Antichrist. Anarchist. Oh, fuck it. Who knows? Listen, Johnny Rotten, if you're listening. Fuck off, pal. Anyway, hi, I'm Colin. I'll be playing Vanguard, the Dwarven Druidy Cleric. Or Clericy Cleric with a dash of Druid at this point.
Yep. Yeah. I was kind of waiting for somebody else there and realised that Alexander has abandoned us this evening.
No Alex.
Oh, he has abandoned us this evening.
There's a great Billy Joe Armstrong sort of quote about he's doing an impersonation of John Lydon, Johnny Rotten, which is I am the Antichrist, please buy more of my merchandise. Which I just love.
Yeah, it's not bad. Not bad. What do you remember from last time?
I made an ass of myself.
Keldrath got blind.
You were having a party and didn't invite us. The week before, Keldrath got it.
Yes.
Yes.
We tested Svit Tag and she destroyed me. Maybe not destroyed, but...
I was going to say, that's a wee bit harsh. She did well.
Yeah.
That fucking blindness aura was upsetting. I was horrified.
Yeah, it was pretty horrible, to be fair. Pretty damn horrible.
It taught me a lesson. Don't make assumptions. But character-based, I would like to run something by yous.
Okay.
I think from the battle, I think Keldrath has learnt a little. And
Easy to take up necromancy.
well, probably more cleric to try and get rid of the undead at the moment. But and I also don't want to kind of screen hog, so I want to really run. We will see how this plays out.
Okay.
Once we're ready to get into the game.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else happened last time worthy of bringing up for the recap?
We got drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I was like, something really good happened.
Well, two of us got drunk.
Yeah. I don't remember if there was still drink by the time you got back to me. Well, I was taking cab. Because if there was drink, he would have had someone. But he would have had some.
I think he drank like a quarter of the cask by the time he got back to camp, right? I think that's what he'd said he'd done. Is that right? Eltris?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, because it was you that went back with it, right?
Yeah, I don't think it got to the point of the sort of us all sitting around over a drink or anything like that. So
it could have though at the end, right? Like the end camp, obviously, because
my if that's happening, then Vanguard will certainly have had a few drinks.
Could even have been this can even be the next, obviously the morning, because you all had a long rest in that time period as well, as far as I'm concerned. But that was at least something that happened. Before we move on to that, we will look at goals and what's in place.
Who is?
Eltris, what's your goals?
Our goals are to reach the city of Barros, decide the fate of the dragon egg, stop the deaths Cynthia predicted, and leave the territory of Menglord without incident.
Yeah, what about your personal goal?
My personal goal is to convince Vanguard. No, it's not mine. I was joking. Find out exactly why my skin changed from wood to rock.
Yes.
I think we can all agree it's because I rock.
Vanguard, what about your personal goal?
Mostly to cringe at that.
Yep.
It's to keep the party alive to reach the top of the mountain.
Let's get a wee personal autocomplete on that cringing goal if you want. Keldrath?
Well, at the moment, I lost my battle with Spittag, so it's back to protecting the dragon egg again until we move into the next region.
Yeah. So that's our goals for now. Got a blank general goal to fulfill at some point. Or fill and then fulfill? Yeah, that'll do. Fill out, then fulfill? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. But anyway, so do you want to have had the before long rest chat? Do you want to do an after long rest chat? Is there campfire chat to be had? Sounds like
Depends how much he wants to talk about his little fight. I think, right?
No, have a conversation. At the present time, I'm lying there and knocked out.
Oh yeah, you were in bed, Nick. Of course.
Yeah, what was it you
I'm
rolled? Because
comatose.
there was like a... Where was the d4 that you rolled? Because I got that for... Yep, so 4 hours he'll be unconscious for before he naturally wakes up unless somebody applies, you know, any supernatural healing.
Well, he's still... Oh, fuck. What have I done? Oh, I've accidentally closed Twitch. Sorry, I'll get it right back open. Would that count as rest if I were to prematurely wake him?
No, because if you're waking him
healing?
when he's unconscious getting to you, you have still to take your long rest narratively.
Yes, so I would... Yeah, you know what? I think that being the case, it makes sense to give him a good bit of healy. What do I have that would restore him to consciousness?
Like,
Some
legit.
of that drink.
I can make him stable. I could just do cure wounds.
Yeah, that would do. Like,
And since it doesn't fucking matter what level I do it at, does it really?
no.
He's at 0, so it's going to be a max. So I'm just going to do it at level 1. It should actually be 1d8. I rolled a 7, so count one more than that.
11?
11 health. I don't know why I didn't say 11.
It's okay, it's just...
I swear to God, Ryan, I'm not high this time.
It's just the fact that I'm sometimes that bad at such obvious maths myself. It was nice
No,
bit of
it's that I didn't
solidarity.
even think about what the numbers were. I just thought, like, oh, it'll be one higher than what I've rolled, without even thinking that what I've rolled is an incredibly small number that I could easily think of.
Oh dear.
Just, yeah.
Yep.
Can I just interject quickly? Just because I saw that in the thing. I've
You
turned
have?
my input thing up on Discord, so just to see if that's better, I just saw the comments.
I mean, ultimately, you were perfectly fine audio-wise for me, so I don't know why.
I did turn you up a little bit, but I find that I'm asking a lot of people to do that, so I thought I was just deaf.
Okay.
The fact that the audio source for you guys, obviously, what I hear is what the stream should hear, in theory, right? Because it all comes through
In theory,
me. It's weird that I can hear all of you fine, but Alexander can only not hear you. It's odd.
I'm not too loud now, am I though?
No,
Okay.
because I've since adjusted you back down.
Okay.
Right, so it's, yeah,
Okay.
I don't know. Unless
What is he doing that he's not with us, but he's watching? What are you up to?
he's apparently just given up on our game, so it seems.
Wow.
Look at him just
Yeah, I
being a
heard that-
spectator.
I heard that GLS were playing tonight, and I thought maybe we would go to see GLS.
Maybe he's one of the GLS members, and then he was having to perform.
What's JLS?
the boy band GLS.
Okay.
Probably not. He's probably not one of GLS. Looking at them.
But maybe a fan.
JLS.
How do you not know GLS? It's like the biggest thing of our generation. No, I'm joking. No.
It really isn't.
Who the Our generation.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Founded in 2006, pal.
Oh, look, there's Aston on the left. I mean, I don't know any of their names. What you're talking about?
Well, go JLS, I guess.
Good for you.
Yeah.
JLS. Yeah.
No, that's Olivia Rodrigo. Good for you. That's not JLS.
I know who she is. She is. She did some fucking song. I don't know. She's famous. I know that. And she is American
Anyway, Dungeons and Dragons.
and young.
Yeah.
I know
Dungeons and
those things about
Dragons.
her. I think I of Hispanic descent.
Sure. I think I'm happy that the audio tried to censor most of that. Just fine. So anyway, right. So you give Keldrath 10 health, or 11 health, I should say. Keldrath, you wake up to the fresh nip of the cold air. Somewhat knocked for 6.
Knocked for 8 because it was -2.
You're never
Not for
minus.
11.
I was gonna say you're never minus, so you'll be up
I
at
know,
11.
I know. 11. Okay, fair enough.
Yep.
Which won't last long because we're going to have a long rest.
Exactly,
after this
yeah.
Conversation.
Exactly.
Right, I've got a lot of noise going on behind me as well, so if that's coming through here, I apologise.
As long as
I haven't heard anything.
yeah, as long as we get you, we're good. Yeah.
I'll go, right, that's fine, but I'll go away soon anyway.
Okay. Goodbye, noise.
So, yeah. So I've kind of woken up from stunned. I'm trying to think this through.
I thought you were going to become a $6 million man for a second there with your sound effects that you were giving us.
I've heard of that.
Yep.
So I'm going to turn.
Back.
I'm going to turn. Going to turn to Eltris and I'm going to say, so what happened up there?
That's an excellent question. Why you you were you know.
Sorry, we're going to say something else there, Chris. Sorry.
Well, I now feel I've got to explain to Vanger that I felt that there's more to Svettag than we know, and I felt I had to try and learn a bit more about her. And after a couple of tankards of her, what did we say it was, rum or something?
Something like spiced cider. I think I said it was.
Spiced cider.
Yeah. It was like a spicy Guinness. I think I said it was actually. I think that's what I said it was.
Spicy Guinness. That's what it was.
That's what I said. Yeah.
You know, that drink that I had the other night wasn't a million miles from a
I was going to say, yeah, that kind of weird, kind of zesty thing you had. Was it Orinoco or something it was called?
It's something like that. It was like a cocoa sort of coffee style. I'm derailing again. I'm sorry. It was from Drygate. It's very nice.
I have to try that one. After a couple of them, I decided that the only way to find out more was to challenge Svettag. Just in case we have to do anything about it. I initially thought the challenge would be to see who could stun each other, but she wanted to go further, so we took it to basically to whoever could stun the other person to bring them to 0 life points without killing them.
He says in character.
In character, yes.
Yeah, you
I'm
know what?
still
That's fine. I can translate that into character. He's obviously you're still very stunned. Like,
Yes.
Yes, a fight to the first knockdown, or knocked out rather. I can see you're a little loopy still. And as he says this, he sort of leaned over and pulled the barrel towards himself. Like, pulled a cup out of his pocket, starts pouring one. And you said that she was more capable than you'd expected. I took her. I took her. I have to say, for a capable enough sort, considering her master up there had at least allowed her to represent her, which suggests that she had some faith in her abilities. But I can't say with any honesty that I had any idea of what I would expect from her. But I'd be curious to hear what exactly it was that. Well, clearly she had some tricks up her sleeve. He says, taking a big gulp.
Yes, she definitely had one trick. The fight started well. I landed a few hits. I done some damage, and then the world went dark. Eltris, can you explain what happened then?
Who is this Tom you speak of?
Yes, I know that.
Oh,
I believe it was pronounced
That's why I
Eltris.
changed it to
Yep,
Eltris
yep,
quickly.
yep,
Oh,
yep.
yeah, Eltris. Yeah, so I think as Eltris here, I'd probably walk over beside Vanguard, and more specifically the barrel,
beer. Yeah.
and pour up my new cup that I've got off of Fleabite, because I won that bet. And yeah, it looked like maybe about halfway through there, Kildrath, you kind of looked like you'd lost all sense of where you were, to be honest. It was a bit of an unfair advantage, I would have to say. But yeah, and the next thing, you were down, and I got this, and he'll just kind of hold up his little cup.
So she was able to. I don't know if you'd say necessarily. Oh, you'd probably say blind your senses or something like that, because the way what Eltris is described seeing doesn't sound specifically like he went blind, but so much as like, oh, I just got the impression you couldn't. So I think I'm not going to quite say that, but like, yeah. So she had some way to dull your senses.
My senses seemed fine. It was, I would have to say, I lost my vision. I could not see, although I could still speak. I could still communicate with Fleabite, who, in our way, we communicated, and he directed me again in a way to be able to continue the battle and just not stand like a statue.
So she's not.
I know no more than that. No.
I see. Then
was
sorry.
No, carry on.
Yeah. Oh God, I sort of forgot what I was going to say. I see. Then you may have bitten off a little bit more than you can chew, but I have to imagine that. Well, you didn't specify no magic. He sort of does a shrug, like she probably has some sort of magic, being that she works for this.
Demon,
Menglod,
I think
that's
is the word you're looking
this,
for.
Well, I was going to say Menglod, but slipped my mind for a second there. I would think that her intelligent servants are probably at least similarly inclined. magic and what have you.
From from the brief battle, I believe that Svettag could be another guardian.
You think so?
The power that she used to transport us here quicker than we would have across the ice, across the snow, being able to move as quickly as she did, and Eltris, what were her weapons like?
Ryan, what were her weapons like?
She have daggers.
Was it daggers?
She had daggers, yes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to pretend that I don't know that they're ice daggers. So that was a description from the attack. So I didn't see them. So I'm trying to eliminate the fact that I know that they're ice daggers. So that's why I asked.
I would have known they were ice daggers. Obviously, yeah, I would have saw them.
I mean, technically, you've both seen them before, right? Like when she wasn't like hiding
she was
them at any
flipping
point.
them.
Like she's at no point has she ever like
Yes.
hid them.
Hadn't it? Yeah.
Also, at no point did she ever flip them either. You just have that in your head, I think, because you wanted her to be super sassy. She definitely
No, I
had
think you
them
said that
brandished.
just before the fight. Whenever I dropped my stick. Anyway, yes, it doesn't matter. Now I could be wrong. She may not be a guardian, but it's just an instinct.
It's an interesting idea, a guardian
Working for or scared.
She seems loyal. I'm inclined to think that her service to Menglot is more willing than many of the others in her employ.
I would then like your permission as a group to test my theory. Once we've rested and I'm healed, I would like to have one last conversation with Svettag before we leave the
They
camp.
did say we had freedom to move around the place. I can't see how they could object. Which you could obviously read as he doesn't object either.
Yes. In the morning when we awake, I take it we're just going to jump through to.
Oh yeah, we'll
rest.
we'll scene change if need be. Yep.
I'm going to use one of my other skills, and I'm going to let you introduce you to one of my other skills. So, whenever we're ready for that.
Okay. Right.
So anything else you
I
want
have
to do
nothing
before?
that I want to
Yeah.
do tonight. So.
Okay.
If you can mail in your suggestions for what Fleabite wants to do.
Eltris, anything you want to do?
No, just in the morning. The only thing that I want to do is do my little ritual to go into tree rock form.
Sure. And to keep him watch.
I can keep watch for a good bit with my meditation. Obviously, like cause obviously I can only need like 4 hours rest or something like that with the trance.
And you're sort of
I just stuck it in there just so you can see it. So yeah, I don't mind as long as I can get like a rest for like 4 maybe, and then I can keep watch at least for a bit longer.
Sure,
If it's
Do
yeah.
easier
we
for people.
trust them enough to just rely on that? I think maybe not. So I will take a stint
Yeah,
as well.
sure. Cool.
I need the rest to get my key points
Yeah.
back up and get
Yeah,
my life
you-
points
you-
back up. So
Your power level.
Yeah. So, yeah, feel free to fast forward through all that and we get to the wonders that are you guys fully rested in the morning. Beyond it being cold, there's very little to report, right? It's just cold. I think you were decidedly aflame for your camp. So yeah, bit chilly,
but
but
we do have alcohol.
yep. I mean, depends how much got people through their watch, I suppose. Yeah, it's like this watch is easy. Things are getting blurrier and blurrier. Oh dear.
Nice to watch.
Exactly. Much like the alcohol levels, less and less. So yeah, beyond that, it's the next day. You all wake up. Yay! Right. Unless you've
Yay.
Yay.
got anything else you
We
wish
wake
to
up
do.
feeling level 9.
Yep. You feel maybe the alcohol did wonders to you guys. Yep.
Hey, we wake up at level 9 and I think I can walk in water.
Nice.
It's a pretty nice feeling, I imagine.
Yeah, it would be. Thank you, Svittag.
Yep. Does it be mindful of your surroundings? Not that mindful. Standing in the middle of a lake. How did I get here? Oh dear, that's cool though. That's really cool.
You may ask yourself.
So just to show what I was meaning by that for those that don't know, unarmored movement. If I share this,
All right.
It's very, very cool.
now it says liquids. Does ice count as a liquid? 'Cause that would be nice in this current
I mean,
circumstances.
Ice counts as a solid.
Yeah, I know. It would be nice under the circumstances,
Yeah.
but I didn't think so.
But I mean, liquid's still good, right?
Most definitely.
It does say that lava is a liquid. Not that you want to run across that.
Depends the distance to the next brick, doesn't it?
Lava is not as bad as you'd think damage-wise, but it's still damage, though.
Yeah.
Is all I would say
It's-
about that.
If it's anything short of near instant death, it's not as much as you'd think.
So yeah, I would advise caution perhaps on that one.
Now we know the next area.
Yep. Well, you've been through the
That's
lava area.
previous one.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say
we have.
you've been through that one. You're good. Right. Okay. What's next in the morning? Any chat in the morning? Any plans? Like, what's the? I would say campfire chat, but I guess lack of campfire chat.
Well, I just want to say quickly.
Then say it.
I want to make sure that it's noted that I've done my meditation thing, my ritual thing. Sorry,
Pop it in chat. Why not?
L3s.
Yep.
Do I have a thing that I can actually pop in chat with this?
Probably.
I don't think I do.
I mean,
Oh wait, no, I do. No, I know what you're talking about. Never mind. Sorry. How do I do it? That button. Boom.
Yep. Which still isn't the thing we were supposed to discuss, because you've not arranged to discuss it with me since.
Roll a D100 to see what color your skin goes this time.
Okay. So, Eltris does his meditations, Vanger preps his spell list, and
The basics.
And what about yourself?
I am going to again tell the guys just before we set off. I would like to go and have a word with Svettag. I've put an item in chat, but I'm also going to show you this. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to start working on one of my other tattoos. And I've closed it instead of putting it in there. And the message I've just put into the Discord chat,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to write a little note to Svettag.
Okay, yeah. And is it
I'll
just what you
read
put?
that.
And is it what you put into the?
Yes, into the Discord chat.
Okay.
So my message to Svettag is basically going to be, Dear Svettag, when you choose to accept your role as the Frost or Ice Guardian, call on me and I will be at your side.
Awesome.
It's quite presumptuous, I'm not going to lie.
Mm.
It is. I'm working on and
Okay, so Keldrath's picked his wife of the game. So there you go. Sorry, Eltris.
Nice waifu.
Waifu, yeah. So one less for Tom to monopolise.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I like it. Mm-hmm. So do you go off and deliver this to like her tent?
I want to make sure the other guys are okay with me doing this.
Okay.
Alright, no.
Okay.
Sorry.
Would you just fold it into a paper, like I guess a paper bird as opposed to airplane, right? And then just throw it.
Yeah, like origami.
Yeah.
I keep it in my pocket until I see her again.
Okay.
I have to ask, what's got you so convinced that's what she is?
She is. It is. It's tough. It is the walking through the ice valley. We covered a distance in hours that that would have taken us days on our own. The use of the ice daggers. We have seen many guardians in our journeys. Menglod has no place here. Menglod. If we found Menglod in a graveyard, I would understand her place in this part of the mountain.
I think she was a frost giant at one point.
Still, there is more to Svetdag, I believe. I'm hoping I don't go over there and she takes this badly and we end up fighting. That is not my plan here. I just need her to know that I believe that she is stronger than she maybe realizes.
Okay, let's say I buy this. And I'm not saying I don't. Frankly, I don't think she's Genasi, and if she's not Genasi, right, one of the Guardians would make a lot of sense. But I've not seen anything to convince me that she's not a willing participant in sort of gestures around all of this. Frankly,
And yet, amongst. Sorry.
no, continue. I'm curious.
I was just going to reply to you, say, and yet she is the only living person amongst the undead that we've seen, apart from maybe Menglod.
I can't remember. Menglo was undead, wasn't she?
Nope.
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 No, she's right. She's not. So Lingoid is still alive. Well, when you have a small number of living among an encampment of the dead, that generally indicates that the living are responsible for the dead. It's not really a sign that they have nothing to do with them. I'm afraid, while I can see your logic for thinking she may be the guardian of this frosty land, for thinking she's someone that you want to ally yourself with, I'm less convinced. but I certainly won't stop.
It is just a gut feeling. If when we first saw Menglod and we were repulsed, we were there is nothing in Menglod that we would sense humanity or on the other hand, Svitdag, if she was that way inclined, she wouldn't have left me alive in that mountain, no matter our agreement. She would have. I would have been marching amongst their armies instead of speaking to you just now. There is more here. There is more here that we don't see. I could be wrong. I admit I could be wrong.
You're convinced. Can't say I think it's the wisest course of action, but I've always followed my gut personally, and I've found that it's often through the things that we can't put into words that a more important truth finds its way. So I would be a terrible hypocrite if I were to tell you don't follow your gut. But I do have to counsel caution. That's all.
The piece of paper that I will hand her with this message on will only be able to be read by myself and Sviptag. And after 24 hours, it will disappear. This will be done. I will act discreetly. Her reaction, I hope,
Why not leave it for
will
her to
be
find?
Also, just for a wee point of clarity as
I
well,
hadn't thought that one.
you will also you make the writing invisible for up to 24 hours, but after that, it then becomes visible. It doesn't vanish, if that makes sense. Cool.
Okay, right. Okay, I've read that wrong. That's fine.
Yep, cool. Just in
So
case your
that's
plan
just like
hindered
that.
on, yeah. Just in case your plan hindered on it being.
Nobody else reading it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes. Vanger, I do understand your caution, but I feel there's more. She would respect us, me, with the direct approach. Again, why the battle has led me this way, why my instincts have led me this way, I cannot say, but it is instinct I'm acting on.
Well, I mean, I don't think Vanger is going to try and convince you any further. So, I mean, Vanger certainly look around at the others and narratively excused will say nothing. And what about Eltris?
Also, before we move on any further, Vanger, mark inspiration on your sheet because Siren bought inspiration for everybody, but everybody has inspiration but you. So essentially, there's one floating inspiration.
Well, thank you.
I probably worded that terribly. What I really mean is Siren bought
Nishanda.
inspiration for somebody in the
Nishandra?
group.
Nishandra.
Yes.
For whoever needs it. You know what? I think being the one that doesn't have it, I am probably the one that needs it most. So thank you again.
Because everybody else had it ticked on their sheet. So, executive decision there, just to allocate it to the person who doesn't have it. Yep. Yeah. So thank you, Siren, and welcome.
Yes, indeed. Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
So Eltris, what are you?
Well, I was
thoughts?
just say, as Elfris here in character, I am not convinced that she is who you think she is. However, like Vanger so nicely put, I am willing to at least accompany you to drop off this letter if you and you should trust your gut, and I'm willing to help you deliver it at least if that's what you think should be the right thing to do.
I believe that would be good in respect to we can at least thank her for the hospitality she
Yeah.
gave us yesterday. I
Indeed.
will say what we
Oh.
have to say, and then we shall run away as quickly as we can.
If you want to do that, I will take this opportunity alongside Fleabite to pack up our eager little camp here and prepare to be on our way when you return.
Be prepared to leave quickly if this goes badly.
I'm not sure how quickly I can go, but
No.
I'll certainly be prepared to go.
Such faith in your team.
Hey, listen, I've seen how fast you can be, and
Yeah.
I know how fast I can be.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Right.
could be a cat, I suppose. That's an option, or a stag. Those are quick.
Yeah.
A stag? What?
Also, can't you be an eagle now?
No, because I didn't take a level in Druid.
Oh damn! I forget. Like, it just got to say because obviously, like, level 8 druids can fly by that point. I think, right?
Yeah, they
That's
can. But I'm a level 2 Druid.
Yep, it's okay. Yep, that was on me. Okay, yeah. So, Eltris and Keldrath head off to find Zutdag.
I think this is a terrible idea, just for the record. But you
Oh, yeah,
follow
but
your
I-
dreams.
I think it sounded fun, but it's definitely terrible. But it sounds like it'll be a lot of fun.
I like the idea that, like, you know, as soon as you start wandering off, Vanger very quickly goes, right, everything in the bags, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. No ceremony about the thing at all, just everything packed. Okay, yeah, like, you just wander off for a bit, takes, you know, whatever the distance was I said last time, between where she normally is and where you guys set up camp. I don't know, I think it was about, is it like half an hour or something? I can't remember how the distance was, but yeah, you find her essentially. We'll have her flipping daggers in her hand now when you see her, and she's throwing them at a tree.
Not the tree.
And then obviously like pulling them out of the tree and then taking her, you know, further back and then throwing them again. That's your approach.
It hurts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, I shall start the conversation with Svittag and maybe speak briefly. We are packing a camp and we are preparing to leave. Myself and Eltris would like to thank you for last night's hospitality. And on a personal level,
She interrupts you when you're saying that, and she puts like one of her daggers in like its, you know, sheath, and she walks over to the tree and rips the other one out of the tree, and she says, "I see that you finally found the morning. Then I thought the drink would have got the better of you."
I was in no position to drink much more after our dance lesson.
Just laughs of like, "Ha! this is very, hearty. And then says, "So you plan on leaving so quickly? Tail between your legs?"
Elf just sniggers at that.
I love how it's like, oh no, what is Keldrath becoming?
Exactly. Another challenge. Yes. We are in a agreement that our mission leads us up the hill, but I feel there was more from our visit, and as we discussed in your tent before our dancing lesson, that you kept many secrets.
Every single line makes it sound worse. Just so it's clear.
Mm.
Just playing.
And she looks you up and down, like sheaths the other blade, puts like her hands like just on like her belt where her daggers hang from, and she looks you up and down, then looks Eltris up and down and says, "Good luck on your journey north, or up, essentially. Like it's not quite north, but I guess maybe good luck on your journey to the peak. I don't imagine it will be an easy journey."
The journey so far hasn't been easy, and we don't believe it will get easier moving up.
She laughs again and goes, "No, you found me." She laughs again.
Elf just laughs too.
Roll to laugh.
No. From after the challenge I laid against you last night, and after our dance, I like using that now. I would like to offer you a boon, and I will then hold the kind of secretly the piece of paper I've written on towards us so she can see it. I do not want to speak these words out loud.
She looks at you, raises an eyebrow, and then looks at whatever it is you're showing her.
I hope she can read common.
Also 2 seconds. Did that work? It did work.
Oh, there we go.
So dumb. That is also from her character sheet. I added in hearty laugh as a stupid move. Because why the hell not?
I want that on my sheet. I want to do a hearty laugh. Oh.
Are you trying to say the damage on it? There isn't damage on it. There's no more coding. I only want that far. So, yeah, like she looks down at it, and she'll start it. If it is written in common, I will go double check her sheet to see if she can read common, because I have totally forgot. No, she can speak it, but can she read it? No, she could. So yeah, she looks it over, and then if it says exactly, obviously, what you'd put in the Discord, she'll look you up and down again and say, "You honour me with these words. Why not speak them?" Also, Tom, you're severely breathing down your mic, Tom.
Oh, sorry, I moved that away.
I do not want to cause you any problems amongst the people you have chosen to stand with. I'm not trying to break your alliance. I'm just offering help in the future, should you decide, should you actually be what I'm suggesting.
She grabs your shoulder, like gives it like a good grip, very very strong grip, and she just laughs, and then lets her hand go from your shoulder and kind of punches where she was gripping, very kind of like playfully, And she says, I feel honoured by your words, and if I require you to stand by my side, at least I know where to find you. And she, tucks the paper away into her belt.
On that note, we thank you for the hospitality again.
You
And
may
as say,
thank Menglod.
been not quite friends.
It is Menglod's hospitality you enjoy.
Will you pass on our thanks to her?
And then she gives you like a funny look. And then she says, if you are so intimidated by the presence of Menglod, I can pass along your words.
We would be grateful.
She just laughs again. And she looks at you, Eltress, and goes, any words for me?
Any roads?
Words.
Words? Oh,
Any houses?
Any threes, anyone? Go fish.
Can't think of a random word I can give her. No, I'm
No.
trying to think. I think Eltress would just say, it's been a pleasure.
Has it now?
Yes, it sure has. Zip tag. I enjoyed your company and your
Yeah.
cider, your ale, your drinks, and hopefully our paths cross again one day. And a little nod.
She just looks at you for like maybe like a good 10 seconds. And then she says, yes. Perhaps they will cross again.
Tense suspense. That was his Tom, not his Eltress. Don't say that in front of her.
I like that you said don't say it for like, I'm not going to say it in front of her.
That was more of a mental note. Yeah, cool. I think Eltress will just kind of, nod about that. Like, there's, yeah, okay.
Sure, yeah. You just head back to Vanger, or Vanger catch up with you, or whatever the plan was, I guess.
I think I was
Back to
setting up the camp, so like
anger and run.
That's fair.
Hello.
We made it back alive.
See, or at least think so. He doesn't use ice degree. So did she? How did she take your message?
In a very Svett-taggy, nonplussed way, as we have seen many times when we've spoke to her. I take it as a positive that we are not battling at the present time, but I think we should depart sooner rather than later.
Well, that's pretty much what I always thought. So I'm happy to agree with you on that. I think we're about packed up here.
Just occasionally you feel that on the
Shall we?
wind. Yeah, you just head off. Right. So, I assume you aren't going via, like, Menglod? You just want to just leave? Head.
No, fuck that.
Yeah.
No, definitely. I will also say to Vanger, we asked Vittag to pass on our appreciation to Menglod
I see.
so as not to offend, but I certainly didn't want to face her again. I thought that was the right thing to do.
Yes, I'm not quite sure how much that would really. Yes. No, I see where you're coming from. I think pleasantries might be a little wasted on her. But yes, that makes sense.
Indeed.
We'll you on our way then.
As quickly as our legs can carry us.
Yeah. So,
Good.
as you are leaving camp, can Eltris roll with advantage
Ooh.
perception and everybody else roll normally with perception?
It's a 10. It's not great.
50.
So, Vanger and Keldrath hear this. Keldrath and Eltris can detect exactly what this is. You hear the pained grunts, cries, and moans of a familiar sounding stag as you leave camp. Yep. Vanger, you hear obviously a distressed animal, obviously, but it doesn't necessarily automatically ring a bell. You can probably
perhaps though
make.
contextually.
I was going to say you can make your own assumptions. Yeah, totally. Like there's enough context to what you've witnessed here, that it wouldn't be that big a stretch. But yeah, and then you just head off. So who is leading?
Shall I?
I haven't
Spec-
called my
shall I?
owl, so I will assist.
Okay. So give me a survival with advantage since you have an
Survival.
assist.
Wait, are
Hey.
we all just going to leave after hearing that, yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you never.
That's the yeah. No. Yeah, it's cringeworthy, but yeah, we've got to. I'm sorry.
I mean, Eltris, you do have the ability to speak to your party members, so it's entirely up to you, buddy. Wish to make the case.
Oh, it's best to believe into it. I think Elvis will just walk away with like what a single tear dripping down his face.
It freezes in place. Yeah.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm. It's really cold here.
Yeah.
Yep. So, can Vanger roll me a d4?
Certainly.
Thank you. Perfect.
It's 4.
Okay, so use travel for the better part of a day north, right? Again, north is up. Okay, there's no actual cardinal point that is even accurate at this point because I don't know which side of the mountain you're on anymore. So you're on the mountain, you're going to the peak. So you travel up, and can I get? Let's see. If you think you'd be keeping, obviously the people that are rolling survival probably not. So Eltra's trying to give me a perception. It's maybe a better angle.
Yeah. Is this still? This is back to normal, yeah.
Yes, this is normal. Yep. Yep.
There
Okay.
you go.
Okay, that's pretty bad. So
Yep.
you don't notice, okay? You don't notice this, but obviously Vanger and Keldrath up front do notice this. As I said, we're 2 days, or sorry, the better part of a day later. These are probably not far away from like choosing to like find somewhere to rest, but here we are, and you bump into some unlikely people.
Where are we? Oh, no, it's loading now. Reagan Geth.
Oh no.
Can we, at this range, tell if they're the nice kind?
Sure. What is your like passive perception in general? Like what's?
It's 13.
Yeah, no, I'd say yeah, you can tell. They're not.
Okay, so I
So-
think the first thing I'll do then is
Sure they are in a disco freeze. So
yeah, like as I say, whisper like "Get ahead" to Eltris, who maybe is moving in a way that indicates he hasn't quite noticed, whistling as he goes, perhaps. And I will because obviously I'm the one who sort of spent time with Gith, I will sort of look to others and say, doesn't look like the friendly type to me either. I think we're in for a battle, and these things are. Well, best be ready.
Here's the one in the middle.
Oh, he's quite cute.
Shut up.
Means that's a dangerous one.
I mean, pretty sure it's a she, but okay.
Is
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
Is
okay,
Gno-
yeah,
is
yeah.
Gno- But then Gith aren't mammals, so why would they?
So,
I'm just so used to everything that's female having tits in this game, even if they're lizards.
okay. So for folks at home, let's do a
Gith.
quick
I
zoom.
don't show them because when I said that was cute, they'll be like, "Wait, what?"
Chebless Gith. That's actually a pub in air. It's not.
So that's those. So they stop, right? They seem to like attend her commands. She like holds her hand up. They immediately stop. Their weapons are drawn. She clearly eyes you guys up. Across there. Like tilts her head, narrows her eyes. Says something. Clearly aimed at you as a group, but clearly in Gith. For Vanger's benefit, who at least recognises some of Gith.
Yeah, I haven't actually learned it because this isn't Starfinder.
Nope, but do you want to give me a history roll then, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah, I will attempt a history roll.
Yep.
It's a good roll, Ryan.
Hey!
It's 25.
You're starting.
Wow.
You're starting to get the hang of the language.
Oh my god.
Oh, yep.
Is
So,
Gilruth with us? Are you okay?
I'm still here.
I
Yeah,
was just too
yeah.
excited. That was all it was for the audio. The dialogue that you hear her say to you says, "Ah, look, victims."
Okay.
Like as villainous as that.
Okay. Okay. So she's wearing it on her sleeve.
And then you can obviously translate the rest of this. She then says, "You seem to be in her way," and then she does start to step forward.
I would like to put on my shielded warhammer before combat begins.
Yeah.
And I will say back in common.
I'd like you to try and say something back in Gith with a 25, yeah?
Oh yeah, I'll try and say. I will then say haltingly something like, You're probably going to revise that description."
And then, when you say that, she then says, "You speak our tongue. You must have spent time with our kind. Is that why this one carries our blade?" She points to Eltrus.
You know what? I'm not even going to try and bluff it. So, guys, let's be honest. Do you want a guy with a negative charisma mod, just a disinclination to lie, to try and bluff this one,
Yes.
or do you want me to just tell them?
I'm going
no.
to say yes just to see how it goes. 'Cause that sounds like it'd be really fun.
I think, okay, ultimately, would Vanger lie? I think it's the best way to say it. As much as it's fun to have a minus charisma mod.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like, as much
No,
as I want it
he's
to
not.
happen, yeah, it's weird to make him lie for the sake of...
Personally, I would like to know whether Fleabite's conversation with him has any effect. If it's had any effect, his next line should be something along the lines, "Yes, we took it off the last ones we killed."
I think that's probably what he's going for, but we haven't had enough time with the flea bite thing for
Yeah, it's not
first to
valid,
grant him a goal when he's not even here.
Take effect.
Yep.
Yeah, but we can work on that. But yeah, I think what you'll say haltingly is, this was trophy of battle. That feels like a dwarven way to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she says, "And who are you to lay claim to a trophy of the Gith?" She takes another step forward, as do her people.
I think what Vanguard will then try. Can I try another bit in Geth?
Sure, yeah, go for it.
What he's going to say, you know what? It's difficult for me with the language barrier. Can we just cut to the fighting?
That's so bad. I love it. That's so good.
You just
Unfortunately,
see,
I've just ordered tiramisu.
she the smile on her face is ridiculous. Let's put it that way. And I guess she like smirks at your response. You know, big kind of sharp toothy grin. Just kind of like shrugs. You know, with her arms out to the sides, as if fair enough. And then we roll initiative.
So, initiative. You know how I'm always unable to find it? Oh, I found it! I haven't
So-
selected my token.
I was going to say,
Shit.
I'm also going to just delete the old initiatives off. Yep.
Right.
Jeez, you can now roll. Yep.
It's 8. It would have been 12 if I'd selected my token, but Oh, well!
Look at that.
Look at you.
Yeah.
I don't know
That's
if I'm
Barbara.
selecting myself yet.
2 seconds to get myself selected and popped into chat and such, so with them.
Do you know the way I can never find the initiative? Oh, there's there.
Yeah, I know that way.
Oh, Keldrath.
Oh, Keldra.
Hey, select your token.
It's not letting me. Why not?
Because you're on the measuring tool.
Because I'm on
Yep.
measuring tool.
Yep.
Shall I do that again then?
Please do. Yep.
Boo.
Same numbers, just different way around.
Yeah.
Descending. Oh,
It's
so
the same but backwards.
right. So Dex mods. So I'm gonna assume Keldrath wins between.
I'm probably not even gonna have to check, but I will. So my dex mod is it's a flat 0.
So I think this is correct then, because Keldrath, your
Oh,
Dex mod's better than these guys, I think. So what's your Dex mod? +4, isn't it?
4.
Yeah, it's definitely better.
Yeah.
So this order has actually done itself correct first time.
Yay!
That's kind of awesome. What I'm gonna do just so as it actually settles that way, we shouldn't really need to worry about like re-rolling this. So now we'll just leave it as is. I was gonna change all the numbers, but I'm not gonna bother. This just seems like a hassle. Well, Eltris.
Hello.
Hello.
Firstly, I just want to say earlier on when I said, "Hey, remember how I'm rolling really good? We should have a combat session." If this goes really bad, I just want everyone to know that I was joking about that, and that this is not my fault.
It's okay, I don't believe in jinxes, so don't worry.
Okay. Okay, so let's see. So, firstly, Eltris has 40 movement, so I can get to this square right here straight off the bat, yeah?
Sure.
I'll probably have mumbled something like, we're getting ready to fight, sort of thing, like to give you. Because I know out of character, initiative means we know combat is happening, but just
Mhm.
roleplay wise, Vanguard would have muttered
Yeah,
to
I
be
think you
ready or
did.
something.
I think you did mutter something when the first
Just because it would be kind of weird if you didn't understand a word I said and then immediately ran at them with a blade anyway.
But I think
So I
so.
just
To
wanted
try
to
and
get that in.
translate roughly what like initiative does kind of mean is, it means everybody has assumed this is the go time, right?
Yeah. So it's
everybody's
fighting
reading-
time.
Yep, exactly. And I think a lot of that can be condensed down to their movements as well, like making sure their weapons are in their hand, their aggressive looks on their face, they're getting their character sheets ready, So,
Well, to begin with, I want to move to this square right here, to the left-hand side of it, okay?
okay. I
Um,
mean, that's
I've
to
got
her right
40
hand, but that's fine.
Yeah, left if you're looking at her. And I've got 40 movements, so let's go here. Okay.
Okay.
And then,
And then.
and then.
And then.
And then... Okay.
Okay.
I will enter
Hooray!
my Raj.
Okay.
So I've ticked that, and I've put my rage down to 3. Okay.
Okay.
Now, before we go any further, I
Yeah.
feel like I need to
Okay.
reread this. That's Wile Rage. Does this? I don't know if it's that one or if it's the other one. That's the thing. I want to put both of these in just now. That's all right. Because I know. Is it that one? No. One of these, I'm sure, says like when I enter Rage, it allows me to do something.
Yeah, it says here. Activates
Like
when
the
you're.
honest one?
It's literally the second like paragraph there.
Or is it? Right. So that does the thing.
Paste in the second thing.
There's the same thing. That's what I was looking for.
Mhm.
Okay. So that happens. Am I right in thinking? Because that says it has an effect that activates when you enter your rage, and you can activate the effect again on each of your turns as a bonus action. So this one doesn't count as a bonus action, does it? Like that happens this time, yeah?
Correct.
Because I've entered my rage. Okay.
I'll also add rage in because I always forget to do this.
Oh yeah, and do you want me to put my wee pip thing on?
Yep.
There's a
Yep.
wee thing.
Track everything that should be tracked.
It's this one here, the man on fire. Yeah.
Sure. If that's what it means.
Yeah, let's say it does. So I've entered my rage. So obviously I can choose one other creature you can see in my order, which is evidently this wee woman.
Okay. It's wee women.
This wee woman. So 1d6. Yeah, 1d6. So can I just roll the 1d6, or does it need to do a...
I need to make a
Save
save, right?
Yeah. Do I do the save first? It's a DC 14. Yeah.
Did your proficiency bonus or con mod change?
No.
Then it is still DC 14. Okay. And what save, con? Or dex? Dex. Okay. I think I've got anything super fancy for this, so I guess it's just...
Do you want to select a token and try that again? No, I'm joking.
No, I'm good.
I mean, she still takes half damage, but doesn't she?
Mhm.
So I can still do my 1d6. What's half of 1?
None.
Okay.
So
Cool.
she ignites her purple lightsaber. She blocks your forced lightning.
I might get thrown out the window. Okay, cool. Okay.
Yep. Okay.
So then let's move on, and I'll use my silver great sword. Okay, so
You mean
I'll go
their
into the
silver
actual-
greatsword? Yep.
I'll use
Yep.
their silver great sword. So I'll go in for the actual attack.
Okay, this is against her.
Yes, against her. Yeah. I take it 22 hits,
I need to work that out.
please. Because if 22 doesn't hit, then I'm going back down to zero.
We're all in trouble.
Everyone just turns away. They're like, "Oh, never mind."
You turn away. Where'd everybody go? They've all run the other way. Yeah,
It's like
that's
the
it.
car-
Of course it
the
hits.
cartoons, like the cloud outline of everyone. Okay, that hits perfect. So
There's just snowmen standing where they once were.
Fantastic!
There's the first attack.
2 seconds. Okay, let me just make sure I actually mark off the health. So 11's a popular number. Okay.
And then I can do that, yeah. I can do my extra attack.
Yep.
Do I still need to click sword, great sword again? Yeah, I need to do it like that, don't I?
You need to push
feel
the
like I
attack
did
button,
that.
yep, and then you would do damage again, yep. Assuming you hit. That also hits.
And then boom,
Nice.
13.
Not bad,
And
not
then
bad.
I don't think there's anything else I can really do after that. No, I think that's really it.
You say that like super disheartenedly. Like essentially doing like 3 attacks isn't bad on like an opening
fine.
move. Yeah.
And like what that was like what 13 and 11, so that's like what 24 damage.
Mhm.
It's okay, isn't it?
It's
Not
alright.
bad.
Yeah, it's alright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And that's me done.
Keldrath, you're up next, buddy.
Indeed.
I meant to say, by the way, I
Okay.
really enjoyed the snow.
Thank you.
It's cute. It is a cute touch.
It is indeed. Right, so following. Yes. I think so. So following Bellatrix's lead, I am going to move one step beyond her.
Okay.
To there. Okay.
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 And then, as I am still getting to grips with this, I am going to do my attack with my quarterstaff.
Okay. That's a hit.
And I will activate my flurry of blows.
Okay, well let's resolve this first then, shall we?
Go first.
Okay. Cool. And you wanna put flurry of blows in. Okay, so mark off a key point. And you can do 2 unarmed strikes as a bonus. Again, $6 million Keldrath. I like it.
I maybe want to retract that flurry of blows.
Okay.
And
What?
put, do stunning strike first.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Since I've hit.
Yeah.
So fire and stunning strike.
Okay. What's the save?
DC 14.
Okay.
Which we know she saved last time, but hopefully not this time.
So this is con though, this one, isn't it? Yep. Constitution saving throw.
And she's
Just.
Just. Okay, so not stunned. So then it's flurry of blows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do flurry now, yeah. So you're doing 2 key, essentially.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes. I just can't remember whether this is with the quarterstaff or
Nope,
unarmed
they're
strikes.
both unarmed. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Attack 1. It hits, 2 damage. Yep.
Do I try another stunning strike? Yes, I will.
Okay.
Jeez, okay, you're going all in this.
Yeah. Oh, went from my long rest.
He's just trying to capitalise on it in case he gets blinded again. Like Zipdag just jumps out of nowhere,
exactly.
blinds him with snow, laughs at him, and runs away.
So putting this back in again. DC 14 again.
Okay, let's see if I can. Go with them. Nope, stunned this time.
Stunned this time.
Can't remember
Okay, then. As she's now stunned, can I now break away into. Come on.
Yeah, she can't react, so yeah, you can.
Yeah. So I'm going to dodge into this space.
I think you can actually... Isn't there a thing you can do because you've attempted something? I'm sure there's a monk thing that you've got as part of your class anyway. That because you'd already... You can disengage. I'm sure. I can't remember what it's called, but it'll be one of your red text abilities because Alexander usually points it out.
Unarmed movement. Speed increases 15. Nope. Yes, he does.
He does. It's
Where is he?
I know. Where is he? Also, we're stunned. There we go. Right at the very fucking end. On the tokens. Cool.
It's not evasion.
No, I'm gonna have a wee look at your shit as well. Let's have a look.
Will Kildrath's looking for that. Can I ask a kind of mechanic question?
In
fact, no, never mind.
I was gonna say I don't know much about cars, so I don't know if that would help. Why? What was your question anyway?
I was going to ask what does the effect of stunned actually do, but I've just realised on that little quick reference it'll be on that, and it'll probably tell me, and I've just decided I'll just go read it instead.
Okay. That's
Sorry.
That's for the best. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it drinking technique? Yeah. Whenever you use flurry of blow, there we go. I'll pop that in chat. That should be it, right? So at third level, you learn to twist and turn, blah blah blah. Whenever you, as part of flurry of blows, whenever you use it, you gain the benefit of a disengage action, and you get an extra 10 feet of move in that turn. So there you go.
Perfect. So,
Mm.
yes, I'm definitely going to jump into the next square then.
Yep.
And I'm going to use my second strike for my unarmed strike. Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. I don't know if you can with flurry blows. I think they both need to be against her. Because it is immediately after you take the attack action, you can spend a key point to make 2 unarmed strikes as a bonus action. The word immediately would be redundant if it didn't mean that you couldn't do anything in between them. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, so what I would then have to do is I will not move yet.
So you get an attack with advantage, I think, because I think stun means you get advantage, right? Tom?
Yep.
Cool.
So attack with advantage against her again then.
Yep.
With my...
That hits, yep. Nice. Okay.
And now I can move and use my extra attack.
Exactly.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay, so then I will take that step this time.
Yep.
And then we'll use my extra attack against him.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And again, this doesn't matter whether it's unarmed, does it? Extra attack? No.
Extra attack can be your weapon again, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with my quarterstaff.
Whack. Go whack with their
I won't have...
I was going to say, the 10 doesn't hit, no.
The 10
Yeah.
doesn't hit.
I should have put that back to normal.
It wouldn't have made a difference. In theory, it'd still have been the 10.
But only in
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's me then.
It's not bad, though. Not bad. An opening volley. Okay, and she's stunned until the start or end of your next turn. Is it this end, isn't it? I think.
The end of my next shirt, yeah. End
Yep.
of my next shirt.
Yep. Cool. Right. So it is our fine fellows. I may as well start with you. Yep. So this is against you, Kildrath. Attack number 1.
That makes sense.
You get me?
Did that not? Why didn't that do? Is anyone else seeing damage in that roll? Because I ain't.
No.
Nope. I'm seeing a blind damage box.
How random.
Terrible noise.
Weird.
There's nothing even hidden. That means he missed. Sorry.
I mean, no, he definitely hit. His 18's definitely there. But It's so strange that he isn't connecting. Interesting. Okay, let me.
It's kind of making me think that the hearty laugh did do damage after all.
Right?
Mm.
We'll never know. Let me just change this up and try it. So I'll do a fresh roll in theory to see if this is gonna. That's still broken. Give me 2 seconds to see if I can sort that out. So, this is when roll 20 is super broken. It's got its damage roll there. Let me just get rid of some of these spaces. Close that off. Wow. So it's definitely only me though, right? Because you guys were... Okay.
Seem to be, but
Let me bring a new guy in. Right. Let me see if his sheet is as broken as the other guy. So... Let's see.
They're multiplying.
Right, so his works. The fuck? That's so weird. That's so weird. Okay, so I wonder if they've updated something and it's just... Right, now, close that. So I'll leave this guy here for now. I'm going to open up the other guy's sheet. I'm going to try again. Right, is this... And then... No, so he is broken, so... He no longer exists. He is there. And then... I'm going to assume the other guy will be broken, so he can disappear and he can go there.
I like the fact that we all witnessed this and we're just looking at them absolutely bewildered, like what's going on.
Just change out the extras, yeah. I'm also just gonna... Let's just do this as well in case she's broken too. So let's just... so move back over. And I'll pop the stand back on. Or better. And then... Right. So I need to give them all their initiatives again. So add turn. And I think she was 8. She was behind Anger. Or I think she was in front of Anger, that's what it was. And then...
yeah, she was.
The turn... And these guys were behind Keldrath on 12. Okay. So... We'll go with the only legal roll that's actually there, so it's the 18 and the 19 damage total, unless you're resisting any of the slashing or psychic. So those are
I don't have any
legit.
resistance at all.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool. So those are at least legitimate rolls. Weird.
Okay.
I'll also love how there's a conversation about inflatable swords as well. Oh, what's going on? I am confused. Okay, so where are we here?
Got that. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's horrendous. I am also technically should be up there. Why are you not at the top? There we go. Right, so let's see if this works this time. So attack 2. I don't think that hits you, does it? Nope. You're 17, right?
Yes.
Cool. But would it have done damage? It would have done damage. Cool. So that's fine. Okay. The next guy is going to take a step there. It's going to attack Eltris.
Oh no.
I'm assuming that does hit you.
That sure does. Okay. How do we work this again? Because obviously, I have resistance against slashing, so it's like half. So, do we round it up or down? Would it be 3 or 4?
You round down.
Is that even right, or would it? Right.
You
half
round
is
down.
7.
So it has for 7-3. Yep.
Okay.
So you're taking 7 total damage.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Yep. It's okay. You're welcome.
-7.
And I assume I missed you with this attack, but I'll ask just in case.
Yeah, that misses.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Oh dear. I do that, and then Yeah. Vanishes from next to you and appears there.
Ooh.
Yes. Okay. In theory, she works. So we'll see how this goes. So this, I don't think she can do. What is my actual options here if she's stunned? Probably very little, right? So you're incapacitated. You can't move. You can only speak falteringly. Incapacitated means I can do very, very, very little. So I can't take actions or reactions, and I can't move because stunned. So I guess that's her turn, right? Very little.
How long does a stun last? Like, is that until Keldrath's next turn because he's the one who's stunned her? Or...
Until the end of his next turn.
Right, okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, and I don't think there's anything else she could have done. Let me just double check because I can't take actions. So yeah, and I can't move. So ultimately, no, there's nothing she can do. Cool. Vanger.
Vanger is going to put himself here.
Okay, cool. I'll do my free attack on you.
He's going to cast Sapping Sting on
I'm going to assume.
her.
I'm going to assume the 6 does not hit you.
It doesn't.
Cool.
I didn't realise it passed through. But yeah, it makes sense. It's a right area. Sapping Sting. Now.
You'll have advantage, remember?
That's not a roll,
Oh yeah, this is the one where I need to do a save, isn't it?
but she can't.
I don't know if that's true. What was it stunned
She's
as?
stunned.
So it's a con save?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I can do a con save.
Can you make con saves when you're stunned?
Stunned only says...
No, automatically improve strength. Oh no,
It's
you're
only
right.
strength and dexterity,
No,
yeah.
sorry, I was mistaken. I was very much mistaken there.
Yep, so it's the one thing I
Also,
can
it's
do.
not rolling the right dice.
Don't worry about it. We'll deal with it in a second.
I'll fix that.
Yeah, Sabbing Sting's an awkward one because it came in with a book that apparently doesn't ever get updated, which is annoying. So con save. That's I've saved.
Ah, very nice.
So don't worry
High
about
level
fixing it.
casting damage 1 plus. How do I make the other one's level?
So
I'll worry about it
I
later.
was gonna say we'll deal with it later. There's no. I don't need. She saved, so there's no
Okay.
effects. Yeah.
And I used all of my movement.
Yes, you moved
I get a
25
quick
feet.
action. A quick action which I can use to do nothing.
Because yeah, your bonus action does nothing unless it lets you cast a spell like Healing Word.
I will end my turn therefore because there's nothing I can do here that'd be useful.
Okay. Our background to Eltris.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay. So,
let's do this.
here's the deal. So I was waiting my character sheet loading.
Okay.
To begin with, boom. And she automatically fails to do a saving throw.
I do indeed.
So
yep.
Full damage. So I'll do my 1d6. Please be better than a 1.
Yeah.
It's
better than a 1.
And obviously that's against her. That's the only person it can be against, isn't it? Aye. So I do that, and then...
I mean, it can be against Keldrath.
Please don't.
I thought you liked electricity.
See, since you said please, and then I'll go in with my silvered great sword. So
Nice. Yep. Okay, you
Just
want to roll
hang.
again?
Should I roll damage first? Yeah.
No, I want you to roll again because you've got advantage.
Oh, so I do.
Okay, we'll keep the 22 then.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's in case you
I
crit,
didn't
right?
realise. Yeah. Thank you for keeping me right.
Gotcha.
So I can just do the damage on this 22 one. Just click that.
I
one
would
for the
suggest
damage,
that's the one you click, yeah. Not that the 8 should make a difference, but yeah. Okay.
There we go. And then then my extra attack.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll go in for that again. I've clicked advantage this time.
Okay.
Ooh,
Ooh.
does that hit?
It does.
Yes. There you go. An extra 9.
Okie dokie.
And yeah, that's it. I'll just end my turn there.
Okie dokie. And Keldrath.
I should have been looking through my
focus
sheet.
makes sense.
Sorry?
Carry on.
Right. So, the one in front of me, then I'm going to go for my quarterstaff attack.
Okay. Hits.
So I'll roll damage first, and then I'm going to do stunning strike and flurry of blows again.
Okay, and then you're on a stunning. So you'll need to do flurry. Sorry, no, you're stunning on this one. Yep, and then spend your key.
Yep.
I'll do a con save on this dude. Bam. Yep.
Okay. I really wanted him stunned.
Yeah, I know. But apparently I'm allowed.
So-
I'm allowed to crit my con saves just now, so I'm going to keep that going as long as I can.
So again, flurry of blows down to 4 points. This is getting expensive.
Mm-hmm. Get them all back in a short rest. What are you complaining about? Yeah, that hits.
Nice.
Right, do another stunning strike. Yes.
Can you do your damage first as well?
Oh yeah, of course.
You always want to do damage first, because then you might, obviously not specifically in this example, but you might kill them.
You
In
might
which
kill
case-
them and not
Mhm.
need to, use
Mhm.
something.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so another. Can I do this again? Probably not.
No. So stunned.
Yep.
So okay,
I'll pip him.
I could then
There we go.
take my second attack with advantage.
Yes, if it's against this dude. Yep.
Yep.
Does now your quarterstaff again we're back to, or is this your flurry? No, this is next flurry.
No, still flurry.
Okay,
Yeah.
that hits. Okay. Cool.
No. I'm going to break away, and I'm
Mhm.
going to take my extra attack
Mm-hmm.
against the one.
Yep.
That Keldrath's on.
You are
Sorry,
Keldrath,
not
but Eltress. Yep, don't
Keldrath.
worry about it. Mhm.
Yes, but Keldrath's now on him.
Yep, we got you.
So my
Okay.
extra attack.
Mhm.
And that's with my quarterstaff
Yep, with advantage. Yep.
again. Yeah.
Yep. Because stunning strike is so good.
Come on.
That hits.
Oh, sorry, it should have been the first one. I didn't activate first.
It's
I might
okay.
get a lot of these.
That's
So I'll
okay.
take the first one.
Yep, it hits. Okay. Right. Is that you, buddy?
I'm tempted to do another stunning strike.
Mm.
I mean, how much key do you have? Serious question. How much key do you have?
I've gone down to 3. It's expensive. I'm down to 4. Sorry.
Do you feel
4.
like you can justify using it now?
Are you not hearing me?
Because
Sorry,
if
4.
So, why not? Yeah, but do you feel that you can justify using it now, or
Yeah,
Is it- yeah,
don't
if
see
you
any
feel
harm
like
in
you can,
using
why
it,
not?
because
Keep her crowd controlled, yeah.
Mhm.
yeah, the way I'm looking at it is that one seemed to be the leader, so I'm
Yep.
assuming
Yeah,
that one's the
that makes
strongest.
complete sense.
So yeah, so I will try a stunning strike again then.
Okay, let's see.
Down to 3.
Can I pull off another high roll? Yes, I can.
Ah. That is me then.
I'll unpip her then. And right, so this guy doesn't do much because he can't.
Yeah.
And
I have
Yep.
a sneaking suspicion he's going to come for me.
yeah, he's just gonna do that.
Strange.
So
See,
attack.
my predictions.
Don't worry,
always-
he misses. In fact, you're the most efficient with this shield you have ever been in your entire dwarven life. Last attack. I think that will hit.
That one hits, yes.
Yeah.
17. Okay, so we'd be on 67.
Remember, you can just type in to the red circle.
Right, you know what? I never remember how to do this. Show me
So-
what to
So,
do.
when you click on your token, click into your red circle, and on your
Yep.
keypad, minus, and then the damage taken. So minus 17, enter. There you go.
Oh, that's nifty. Right, okay.
It's really handy. Same for healing as well. It goes the other way. So, right.
Right, that is nifty. Yep. Okay.
And yeah, I think it's going to stay there. He's happy with that. Right. Slightly upset by this. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. They're gonna cast a spell.
See if this is blindness. I'm going.
You're already. Oh. Oh dear.
I'm going to use almost speed just to run away.
So.
You
Yeah.
end up running out of speed though.
So they're gonna cast. This will be against you, Keldrath, because you annoyed them. Oh, I did push a button there, but I don't know if what I wanted to happen
Nothing's
actually
come through
happened.
yet for me, at least.
It's okay. I'll need to work this out. Okay, why are all the sheets broken?
Why are all the sheets?
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just delete it off the character sheet and re-add it, regardless of what comes up. So, and hopefully it'll work this time. Okay, so I've re-added it onto the sheet. It should ask me what level I'm casting it at, but maybe it won't. So here we go. This is going to be a 4th level spell. No, it definitely is acting like it's putting something in though, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's so weird. Okay, look at that. Look, you can give me a wee new line. Oh, that's so jank. Right, well, give me a second. What I'll do is try somebody else's character sheet. Should have the same spell. 3 seconds. And I'll see if this works. This is going to be a test, this next one, so don't panic too much straight away. Okay, is this going to work? Right, I'm just going to add a person onto the map, don't panic yet. He's not really there.
Is it Sarah?
It's really, really not. Nice roll 20 being a dick. Okay, so
It does seem a bit stuttery for me. Oh, I recognise
Yeah.
that guy.
So don't worry about him. He doesn't really exist. Right, so this one's a test. Okay, so that worked for me. It'll take a wee second or two to get. I'll let you
Magic missile.
Yeah, okay, cool. So I'll just put test over. Okay, so the good thing about this is the auto hit, so none of the actual modifiers or whatever have to worry about it. So it's going to be 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 of these are going to essentially be shot out. So we'll start aiming at you. So 2 seconds. I'll do this sequentially because I might be moving on to Eltris if I land a lot of these. So we get 6 to play with. So there's 1. Can you please take your 3 force damage?
I mean,
Okay.
my roll 20 is going to look really slow. Like none of this.
So's mine.
Yeah, the first magic missiles just showed up for me, like the test one.
So I'm also going to.
I think it might be the snow effect.
It's okay. I'll get rid of that. Might not be. It's quite a low.
I know it might not be, but it just feel like it has been unusually slow since the snow.
Well, that's gone. Right, so it's 3 force damage from the first one, right?
Yep.
Okay, and then we've got 5 more to go, so... Let me know when you've updated your health bar.
Done.
Cool.
Done. Done.
I got one last one, I think, so we're bam.
Okay, okay.
Jesus. I mean, it's not a huge amount of damage all told, but it's guaranteed damage.
Yeah, it is. And it's an expensive slot. It's a 4th level slot. So it was an expensive slot. So that was one of those. Bam. And what, don't you try and get into my spells.
So I just wanted to see if it said anything on it. That's all I wanted to see. I just wanted to read about it.
Well,
Sorry.
see when you play somebody that's got magic missile, then you can learn magic. Okay.
Okay.
Magic.
But-
missile.
I also have
Oh my lord! What the fuck? Excuse me. Sorry.
also this because she has this. Oh, we're back to this again. Oh my god. Yeah, it's as if it's like interesting. I don't know why it keeps resetting that. So
Oh,
let's reset her again. How weird.
24 sounds like a hit to me though.
24 is definitely hitting, but do I need to make like a new her again? Okay, so here she is again. And then
This is so good.
this is horrendous. This is so awful. Right, so let's just see if I can...
So many bad guys.
Okay, there you go. There's your damage roll. The fuck?
Wow.
That's pretty decent damage.
Yep.
I'm in trouble.
I'll also
I'm
get-
out.
So you're zeroed.
I'm down, gentlemen. I'm zeroed.
And then she turns and
indeed.
looks at you. So see on your token, pip yourself with a... Where are we here?
I have line of sight.
I'll do that in a second. Where is it? So it's the skull and crossbones. Did you say skull? It's the piratey symbol. And there's a prone...
What am I doing?
Where's the prone one? I'll find that as well.
This is running really slowly.
It's okay, I've got them. There we go. It could also just be that roll 20's jank just now as well. That could also just be a thing. I got that one. That's the 2. Okay. Line of sight wise, you probably do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So she turns and looks at you, Eltris, and eyes up the sword, and then says something in Gith to you.
What is it? What does she say?
It's in Gith. So
Can
it's-
you say it in Gith though?
No.
For the viewers at home?
No.
Okay.
No. They get the subtitles anyway.
Okay. Rambles in Gith.
Yeah, take 100 damage.
Oh.
Is there anything else they do? No. Thanker.
Okay. I do have a stupid idea. I'm pretty sure if I just risked tanking another attack, I could just go over and res you at full health.
Okay.
Because, right, let me think. Like, cure wounds. 1d8 per level. Plus, not full health, sorry, but I can get you up in like 43 health.
That's healthy. Yeah.
Obviously, that might be the exchange of taking like 20 health on me. Whereas I could bring you back on like 20 odd health from here.
I'm also going to switch browsers in the meantime, so please stand by.
You know what?
Oh, I'll bring that back in a second, don't worry.
I think that considering there are two of you on her, what are you thinking?
I think you should concentrate on the guy in front of you at the moment.
Do you think
The
I
other
can
guy's
kill him
stunned.
fast enough that you being down won't be a problem?
Having never been down before, what happens next?
Well, you
I've
can
got
get
rolls
killed,
against
and you can't
death
do
saves.
much. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So we'll talk
It's
about that right now.
bad.
So here's the exact thing that's going to happen, right? Because it's probably worth having a very quick chat since it hasn't happened to Gildrath before ever. So what normally happens is when you go to 0, or so long as you don't take 66 damage below 0 in one hit, you don't just outright die immediately. Okay, that's a good thing. You didn't do that. You're now in the dying, unconscious dying condition, and on your ass. And essentially, on your turn, you'll roll a d20 and call a death save. And if it's 10 or higher, you get 1 success. If it's 10 or lower, you get 1 failure. 3 of each means, well, you either stabilize on 0, but you're unconscious if you get 3 successes, and if you get 3 failures, you're dead. Okay? If you roll an at 20, you get to automatically stabilize on 1 health, and you get to take your turn as normal. If you get a 1, a crit fail as it were, you get 2 failed death saves, making you closer to death. If you get hit in this state, you take death saves, like failed death saves automatically. So it's bad. It's a bad place to be.
Okay.
Essentially, that's how it works. And there is a way you could die in 1 turn. It's a very unfortunate way, but it is possible. So, Vanger. With that in mind,
I'm going to point at him, and I'm going to say the guy right in front of me. Actually, point at him and say, "I'll deal with you in a second."
You say that in common or in Gith?
Broken Gith. If you want me to roll something to try.
No, but I do want to test to see if this is going to work. Okay, so right now it works, but we'll see what happens.
And then you'll be shocked to learn that I want to use one of my harness divinities.
So he replies saying, "Keep our words out of your foul mouth."
Ooh.
What he perhaps doesn't realise is that I've done this to him.
I mean, probably not. Yeah.
And then I
circle.
will sort of gesture towards our downed friend, Gildrath, and I will cast Sod it. Let's just be thorough. A level 5 healing word.
Nice.
So that's not 10, ignore it. It's 23.
Yep.
Because my bonus is right. My bonus from thingy is 3.
Yep. You're right, 23. You're right.
And yeah, the maximum is 20. So you're getting 23 health. And I am not going to move because I feel like that would be foolish at the moment.
I mean, you could move
so
a
that's
bit
my
if you
turn.
wanted, right? You could go.
Yeah, I suppose I could move to a more advantageous position within his sphere of influence.
Yeah, sure. His threat range.
Is there a better position here? Actually, I think there might be. Sod. Hold on. Clicked the wrong thing there. Nah, screw it. I like being here. That's my turn.
Yep, cool. Right, you can unpip the skull and crossbones, but you keep the prone for now. Okie, which is the fallen red man symbol. That's for you, Keldrath. If that is you. So we move to Eltrish's turn, but dramatically we don't take Eltrish's turn, we go to break.
Oh no.
So we'll be back in like
That's somewhere to harp
5-10 minutes. See you folks soon. Bye bye.
Oh, I was trying to derail.
I know. So anyway, welcome back to the Invasion Session 69. I'm Ryan, GM. It's the 20th of October 2021. Here are the players. Part 2 as well.
Hello, I'm Tom, part 2, the Barbarian. Tonight I'll be playing Eltris the Barber. And welcome to part 2 of session 69. Nice.
Good evening, everyone. My name's Chris. I'm Keldrath, the Dragonborn monk who's about to go up from his knees.
Yeah, so it's just we're okay. Hello. I am Vanger. Not part 2. I'm Vanger with one of the more esoteric sort of naming conventions for the sequels. So like I'm Vanger kills. There you go.
Okay.
So hopefully I'm
John
at
Carpenter theme plays. Yeah.
at least mediocre but violent. That's something we can aim for this session.
Okay.
Cleric-y druid, druid-y cleric. Take your pick.
Okay. I'm gonna hope.
I mentioned he's a dwarf, didn't I? I think I mentioned
Probably.
that. If I didn't, well, he is.
Yeah, probably. Here's hoping my character sheets work still, since that seems to be a new fun thing I'm up against this session. Weird. I've changed browser that I use, but we'll see how that goes. Meanwhile, though, it's Eltris's go.
Okay.
So you've just seen Harley into a Galdrath as he's basically been laid out on his ass. And Vanger has cast healing magic to, make him wake up again.
Get him back up.
Well, he's not stood up yet, he's still on his ass, but yeah, he is definitely...
Okay. I would also like to point out that I called myself the Barbarian and I called Eltris the Barber. See how I shook things up for episode 69?
Nobody noticed, keep going.
The Barbara.
So, anyway...
Oh, okay.
I'd like to start off with this bad boy.
Okay. On who? It's a bit shitty to do that on Keldrath on his ass.
I've just got back.
Oh, never mind then. Never mind. Else.
Undo it.
No, on her. Does she have a name?
Probably.
Okay, on.
You haven't asked?
Not yet.
Again?
I'll wait till she's. Oh, never mind. I was going to say lying down, then I was like, nope, that's different.
Wow!
Wow.
I didn't mean it like that. I meant like after I hit her.
Good shame.
No, wait.
That's.
Can I do it on the bad guy, please?
I mean, are you sure the bad guy
Isn't me?
isn't you?
I cast this on myself. Did I do a dexterity saving throw?
So I guess...
Don't say it, I'll get you into it.
There, I saved. The sheet worked.
Nice. So there's the roll.
Okay. Take my 2 damage.
To damage.
Or not to damage.
And on top of that, I'll swing my silvered greatsword
Oh my.
at
Come on,
her.
at least.
It misses.
Why have I got advantage on? I shouldn't have that on, shouldn't I?
Yeah. But,
Well, it misses even more.
Misses, double misses.
I mean, the 9's what I was looking at, because I know you don't have advantage on this attack, so...
yeah. I don't know why I thought that. Sorry. That's fine.
Remember, you can always go reckless.
Oh, so I can.
I
Oh.
need to become a reckless and I blame myself. It's a brand new lyric, I'm sorry.
Let me take a second to think about this.
Do you want to have gone reckless? Because it needs to have been on that first attack, which means you'd still miss.
Okay.
But you'd get
but then
advantage
with
on
this-
your next attack.
Right, yeah, let's say I went reckless then, right? That was the reason for it. I'll just put it in the chat, okay?
Okay.
So I can now click advantage back on. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yep. And I'll go in for the extra attack. Boom.
That's not bad.
That hits.
Yes.
Guess they never miss, huh? Except that one that just did.
And then that's the damage roll.
Yep.
And now,
Something different.
yeah, I'll just end it there. I was thinking about moving, but then I was like, nah, that's probably a bad idea. So yeah, I suppose that's me done. Thank you for attending my TED talk.
Okay. Okay. Keldrath, you don't have to do death saving throws. Yay! To stand up, you've got a monk thing that lets you stand up for less than what it normally costs. Because normally standing up from prone takes half your movement total, but you'll probably have some kind of monk thing that makes it less. So
That one.
that's the one. There you go. It's so good. Tipsy
So,
sway leap to your feet. So good.
I will take that back off again then.
Yeah.
Keep going. Oh. Oh, that
Mm.
comes off. Right. Could I paste something into here that maybe I should have done last? I don't know whether this is already taken into my character. So I'd just like to start on looking at this first.
Okay.
Whether there would have had to be anything that would have helped me dodge the magic missiles.
No.
No, they auto hit.
Yeah. It's worth, like, obviously asking, but no. Magic missile just auto hits. It's bullshit. Ultimately.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
But it was a 4th level slot, so it wasn't like it was no cost to her, if that makes sense. So it was expensive, but yeah, that's why they're good. The only ways to get around magic missile is to like counterspell it or to have the shield spell.
Is there such a thing in 5e as silence?
Yeah.
Just to mute them all?
Yep.
Is that still a thing?
Yep. It would probably affect a bunch of people in it, but yeah, you can have silence areas, yep, and it stops any verbal spells.
Yeah. That'd be handy. Anyway. Back to all I've really got is my quarterstaff attack. I'm just going to attack her straight away.
Remember, you get advantage on the guy
Alright,
above.
Alanis.
Everything you do will have advantage on the guy above, remember.
Because he's stoned.
Yes, okay.
But I think if I'm being a very, very nice GM, you probably do want to make at least one attack against her, so you can just move away without having to do anything else. Whatever your monk moving thing is. I think it does require you to actually have...
Best part of the flurry of blows. When you use flurry of blows, you can gain the benefit to disengage a pinch and all.
There's another thing that lets you do disengages for less as well, though. I can't remember what that is. I'm sure it's like a monk thing that you get to. It's a bit more expensive than that version, but it means you could like go deal with him primarily without worrying about her getting an attack. Or you could just take the attack from her. It's really hard to do. But there might be a way that you can spend. It might be like a key point. Let me just have a quick nosy.
Yeah, there is. There
is another.
Patient defense.
No, it's Step of the Wind, but that's okay. We're close.
What about Curse of the Wolf?
No. So, in theory, you could spend a key point to take a disengage as a bonus action. In theory. If you had wanted to. But there's nothing wrong with you, like, still hitting her, it's just it's a waste of the stun on him, because his stun drops off at the end of your turn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to be spending a lot of key points here, but I'm going to go with Step of the Wind then.
Okay, cool.
I'll lower myself down to 2 key points. I shall move back up to our friend.
Yep.
Magic missile, does it have to be in line of sight or anything like that? So if I hide behind him, it's not going to get me again?
You technically don't hide. See if the size categories are different. Like if he was like the giant size, you could hide behind him. But see, unless there's that, people don't block each other. Yeah, unless you're flipping who's small.
Fair enough.
But like line of sight stuff will matter for a lot of spells. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, just like that.
No, it's
so
worth always ask.
Then,
always ask.
I'm going to take my. Yeah. I will take my quarterstaff
Yep.
strike with advantage.
Well, hey, that hits, by the way.
Nice.
Noise.
Nice. Okay.
10 bludgeoning. Just want to read something.
Yep.
Oh, and now I can't find what I was trying to read. Where is it?
Think out loud. What were you looking for? We'll see if I can help you.
My lightning spell.
Oh, your breath thing. I think you need an action for that.
Breath
I
weapon.
think.
Really. Yeah, action.
Action. So I can't use it here then. No, I don't want to use it here. I want to do use flurry of blows first anyway, so that makes no difference.
Okay, so you're on a flurry against this dude.
Yeah.
Cool. So, much key you got left after this?
I've got one after this.
Yep,
So,
yep, not bad, not bad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's been effective though.
It's brought them down, but you've still not said anybody's bloodied, so
Mm,
you must have a hell of a lot of points on her.
that misses.
Mm-hmm.
That hits.
Do I use my last one on stun? I
What we
think
do
I've
is
got to.
we do damage
So
first,
I'll do
remember?
damage first.
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
And then
I will take stunning strike again. That's a DC 14 for you.
is a con save, isn't it, this one? So I can make it. I can attempt to make it at least. 2 wee seconds till the character sheet loads. Oh, I failed that.
Stunned again.
Yeah.
I have no key points left, gentlemen.
But I mean, you've given them a whole set of advantage against this dude for a whole round, so that's not bad going.
Yeah.
Right. Anywhere else you want to go? Since you do have a bunch of move. Like you've only used 15 movement out of your total, so
There is nowhere for me to hide, so no, not unless that's really out of sight, because I'd like to hide from her.
I
There
just
isn't a
don't
lot
think-
else I can
Yeah.
do.
Okay. So, if that is the case, that guy next to you won't do anything, but the guy next to Vanger will try.
Fair.
Yeah, so attack 1 against Vanger, or bam. What the fuck,
It's a
Vanger?
miss.
How have you done this, Vanger? How have you done this?
With the power of the 5.
Doesn't his sword break or something?
And then, wabam. Isn't that exactly
That
what I rolled
is-
last time?
It is, yes,
What the
exactly the
fuck?
same.
Fucking hell. Stupid.
But that's less.
Yeah. It is what it is. I'm trying my best.
Right. 1 less, but it's less.
Mhm.
Right, so we're going. Oh no! Wait, hold on. It's the same.
Is it the exact
I misread it. That's 9 and 8.
Holy fuck, that's so
That was the
bizarre.
exact same roll, Ryan.
That's amazing. My god.
Oh,
that wasn't.
bugger.
That wasn't.
I buggered it up. Ah, sorry.
So it's 6 and 11.
Hold on.
I mean, I did 6 and
I
11 last time
accidentally
as
hit.
opposed to 9 and 8, but yeah.
Yeah, I accidentally hit
Yeah.
17 rather than minus 17. So it should be. Let me chalk it back up and do it again, right?
Okay.
And that's minus 34, right? So it'd be like minus 34.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. I need to get used to using this. It is
Mm.
really handy. but I forgot the minus bar.
It's okay, I've done that myself. The amount of times where I'm like, give me a second, guys, it's because I've typed in damage taken as opposed to minus damage taken. Done that before.
It's a decent whack in me. It was,
Yeah.
you know, a couple of solid hits he's landed.
Yeah. Okay. It's her go. It's assuming she still works as a character sheet. Right. Give her
That
a
is an
second.
assumption.
Yeah. Let's see. What's she gonna do? She is probably... That'd be kind of disgusting. Let's not do that. Like, it'd be really mean. Let's just put it that way. Oh. Okay, now let's just do this and see what happens. Okay, so Elytris, she casts herself a wee spell
Oh.
on herself.
Oh.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
That's still very strong, provided our concentration doesn't get interrupted.
Put that up there. And then, because of her war magic, she's going to take her attack against you, Elytris. It's going to have advantage because you're reckless. So I'm assuming a 19 hits. Wow, the damage actually works. Nicely, nice.
Okay.
It's only 19 for God's sake.
It's less. It's only 16.
16.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, thanks to haste, I've got another action.
Oh no.
Yep. But it is only... I don't think that hits you, does it?
It does not.
Hey! 'Cause it does...
Critical this fight.
So no. So it does specify here, like, the action can only be used to take the attack action, which is one weapon attack only. So it can't start triggering like nonsense like multi-attack or anything like that. So you're lucky that way. I'll also pip her with this, just as we're reminded. And yeah, I think that's everything. Finger.
I'm trying to think. Do I want to upcast Vampiric Touch or Inflict Wounds?
Mm.
And Vampiric Touch has a better chance of keeping me in the fight, but Inflict Wounds has a better chance of just removing him from the board straight up.
Inflict Wounds is such a disgustingly fun spell. Like,
it is horrific.
It's such a fun spell.
Advantage right now, right? And he's cursed, right?
Do you have advantage?
I was given inspiration.
Oh, right, okay. What you're saying is you can give yourself advantage.
I can give myself advantage, I should say, rather.
Cool.
And,
I was like,
and
are you?
Sod, I'm going to, and I'm going to upcast it at level 4 because fuck him. Oh, wait, what?
It's okay, it's when you click on damage that matters, so that's fine.
Oh, right.
That does hit, by the way.
Does that hit?
Yeah.
I said level 4, I'm committing to level 4.
Okay. So, that's 28 times 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What's that?
Don't make me do math.
56.
Thank you.
There you go, bud.
Nice.
Got
Inflict Wounds is such a disgusting spell.
Landed a single hit at this fight, and it just deleted the mook.
Yep. This is, again, it's because Inflict Wounds starts at 3d10. It is sickening.
It is insane. It's horrific that
Told
there's
you.
a spell like that.
I told you, the cleric spell list, right, just starts off and continues to be the best. Ooh. Right, you. Do you want to move anywhere?
That's an excellent question.
Because I don't think there's much left of this guy, because I'm pretty sure, like, you know, like a husk, maybe, falls over.
I think he's sort of almost crumbling at this point. So I'm tempted, right? Strategically, do we think? Because Vanger would probably do it, but do we think he wants to like stick himself in combat with her? Because he is a little beat up and she can do a lot of damage.
Can you use that spell again from there? What's
No,
the range on
it's
it?
a touch spell.
Touch spell.
This is where sorcerers have the edge on things like that, where they could do that if they've got
You
decent spell.
can't. You can't move and attack again, though, can you?
No, that was my action.
The reason
Yeah.
why we're bringing it up now is because he only moves 25 feet,
Yeah,
so you want
so-
to try and make the most of his 25 feet per turn.
It's I could get there. There
No.
makes more sense.
You can always just move one back, right?
Yeah, but that's what I was going to say. You don't need to be in contact with her now.
Yeah, you could just go there.
Move there, yeah, move in that
And
square,
that
and then
sort
move
of
in and
does
attack her.
force them. Yeah, if she wanted to move towards me, that would force her to risk a reaction.
Yeah.
Correct.
You know what? I agree with that. It's a good spot to move to. So I'm going to do it, and that is my turn.
Excellent. Okay.
I think he's probably muttering, "How are you getting on over there?"
Probably trying to like get the fucking green crackle of energy off your fingertips, given how much.
Fine.
Oh. Peel the new
I
fingerprint
just
layers
pressed
off.
delete mook. It's okay.
Bits of the guy's skin left on your fingers, smoking away. Ugh. So,
Mhm.
Eltris, you can get rid of the red pip, right? Because you don't grant it during your turn. I think it falls off at your turn.
That's true.
Unless you want to go reckless again.
Well, now that you've mentioned it,
Oh god.
Like, my thing about it is when you get something that gives you advantage and you're in a healthy position, why wouldn't you?
yeah, exactly. So, with that in mind, I'm going to pip myself red.
Okay. That sounds like you're going to go reckless.
And just for the viewers at home who are reading that sidebar, here is reckless attack.
Okay.
Now, before I do any attack, I know that she's got advantage on dexterity saving throws now, doesn't she? Yeah.
Got a lot of stuff, yeah.
Yeah. But even with advantage, even if it passes or fails, she's still taking damage by this bad boy.
Yeah.
So, let's do that.
I fail anyway.
Oh my.
And I'll roll 1d6.
Okay.
And I'll be like,
It's
yes, we
terrifying.
snapped her a little bit.
Yeah, it's still 1 damage. It's still damage.
Not tingled.
It was 1 damage that she did have previously that she's not got. So, it's
What?
every little helps.
I think that was
you
the wrong
said
way
the
around.
opposite of what you meant.
No,
Yeah.
no, look, I think it checks out.
Anyway, moving on. I'm going reckless, so I'll swing the silver.
And I blame
greatsword.
myself. I made things harder and you're just trying to help, yeah?
And I miss.
You do, yep.
Yeah. And then I will go with this. Okay. And I'll swing my silvered greatsword again.
That hits.
And it's a crit, yeah. So
It's why it hits, yeah.
there's that thing that we spoke about earlier. So
Just click
I-
silver great sword first.
okay.
Perfect. What's the total?
11 plus 6 is 17 plus the 3
20.
is 20.
Okay. Now, do you want to reroll one of the 6s? It's a 6 you're rerolling because your weapon does d6s. So do you want to? Are you wanting to use your brutal thing? Do you want to pop it into chat for
Yeah.
folks?
Yeah, I'll pop it into chat. I'm really
Cool.
happy I'm getting to use this. That's
Yeah,
quite
it's
cool.
awesome. Yep.
So I can roll 1 additional weapon damage die when
I
determining.
love how it says you can roll. When would you not want to?
Yeah, like no, I'm alright. Actually, it's fine. So am I just rolling 1d6 basically? Yeah.
For a second there, Colin, sorry there, Tom, but for a second I thought you just typed that you'd only turned 20 the other week. I thought you were just trying to like gaslight the audience.
Okay, I'm not that bad.
Okay.
God.
Oh, dear. Right, do you want to do your d6 roll then for me?
Yeah. So it's just 1d6. Yeah.
Correct.
That's how that works.
So is there no limitation other than it can only be one dice?
That's it, yeah. It's just one dice. I
That-
suppose
yeah, you would never not want to do it.
I suppose unless they were healing from the damage you did, if like you only did fire damage, then you'd want to not do that if they healed from
Yeah,
it,
but then
right?
you would just want to not attack.
Yeah, that's also true. I don't know. There must be a reason somewhere for that. I guess it's just agency, right?
Yeah.
Right, so what's the total now, sorry? Is it 22?
Yeah, 22 damage. Yeah.
It's not bad. Not bad at all.
Is she bloodied at least?
She's been blooded for ages, I just never said.
Oh, that's cute.
I just forgot to say, to be honest.
I got absolutely just kicked out of roll 20 there. Sorry.
Oh well.
I don't
I
know
guess
what-
she'll just take your turn for you then. She makes you stab
Um,
yourself. Yep.
Oh no, I'm stabbing myself. For
No.
22 damage.
And it's double
Um,
double advantage because, you know,
Oh yeah, double advantage. I forgot about that.
because you're getting advantage on the attack and it's advantage to attack you, so it's double advantage. Yep. Oh dear.
Anyway, to finish it off, I will do nothing.
Yep.
Okay.
Because that's your turnover, right?
Yep.
I figured that was going to be the case.
Yeah.
Okay. Keldras.
With no key points left.
Yeah, but you're getting advantage on this guy for your turn, remember?
Exactly. How does advantage count with that?
It doesn't.
Doesn't.
It's only on
So
attack rolls.
advantage would only be if you were rolling the attack. Say
This makes them
because
react.
Them to
Yeah.
roll,
Yeah.
you would need to be inflicting disadvantage on the relevant save somehow, which is what? Is it Dex?
For this one, it's con. For the breath
Con?
weapon.
Oh! I would have thought you would have been trying to get out of the way rather than just trying to tank it and show how tough you are.
Oh wait, no,
whatever.
no, it is. Sorry, the dex save is the dex
Oh,
save. Sorry,
it's
Right,
Dex,
that
yes,
makes
Dex.
more sense. That makes more sense.
I just read con mods. That's why my brain.
I love the idea that the way you save against a con mod is just against a con mod, against a breath weapon is to just stand in it and go like, ah!
I mean,
fuck you."
that is the ballsy way to do it, I suppose, right?
To be fair, that is the barbarian way to do it.
Oh dear. All right. So what's your thoughts then, Keldras? Gonna go for melee weaponry, or are you gonna go breath attack on this dude? He will fail his saving throw because he's
I'm going to go
stunned.
breath attack on this dude because I still get an extra attack after. Exactly. So at level
So
level 6, I get
you
3d6.
you also won't. This will be your entire action. Because your action is to use your breath weapon, it is not to take the attack action.
Mm-hmm.
That's what extra attack triggers on. It needs to be the attack action, which lets you use your melee stuff. So you wouldn't get any follow.
Okay.
But he is going to auto-fail this save because he's stunned.
Yes.
So it's up to you if you want
Yeah,
to
so
use
some
it.
guaranteed damage is always nice.
So I'm still going to get 3d6. Yes, exactly. That's why I'm looking at it. So yeah, 3d6 then?
Yep, you can just roll 3d6 because I think I can't save, so I've auto-failed it. So, and you're shooting the guy next to you.
Yeah.
Cool.
3d6. No, that didn't work.
Okay, if you go to the side and you highlight it, you go to your
Yeah.
d6 and just highlight 3. Click on it.
Okay.
There you go. There you go. That guy's toasted.
That's a good result then.
Nice.
Yeah, like literally just, you blast lightning out your mouth and then he's gone.
Down
Nice.
to our ladyship.
Okay.
There's not a lot else I can do then, is there?
I mean, you've kind of like deleted these people. Yeah?
Could I use a healing potion?
No.
Or
it's
is
an
that goes
action.
in action?
That's an
That's an
action.
action,
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
The only thing I've got left to do then, I think, would be to move, and I don't see any point in moving at the moment.
Yeah, like you may as well make her dance a bit more than she needs to, because moving in just makes her job easier, right?
Yep.
Okay, is that you, bud?
Yes, that's me.
Okay. Now these people were deleted, so yep.
Rip.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Elphys, you just kind of hear her like laughing. You know, spits some kind of interestingly blackish green blood on the snow, and then decides to attack you with advantage a whole bunch of times.
Oh no! Oh! I would like to use my advantage to make that not happen. My advantage, my reaction to make that not happen. Using Sentinel at Death's Door. Let me just double check that's exactly what it does. What I think it does. Level 6 inability to impede Death's progress. As a reaction, when you're a creature you can see within 30 feet of you suffers a critical hit. They're all within 30 feet, aren't they?
They're definitely within 30 feet of you.
Certainly,
Yeah,
15 feet. Suffers a critical hit.
Just pop it in chat.
You can turn that hit into a normal hit. Any effects triggered by the critical hit are cancelled. There you go. I've been looking for an opportunity to
That's
use
awesome.
that and I keep on forgetting it.
It's so good though, right? Like
it's so good.
Very nice. It's such a
I like
niche
that
ability
idea
as well.
of just like pointing and going, no. Just, and then the damage decides not to happen as much.
So it's entirely up to you in terms of the dice that's been done, Elchis. Like we can just ignore the secondary tier of dice and take the first lot, or I can just roll the damage dice again normally. Either way,
I mean,
it's up to you.
we'll just ignore the second lot, like yeah.
So it's 7 damage you're gonna have, right?
Which is 3.
Yep, and then you're gonna take 14.
So 17 in total.
17.
14 and 3. 17.
Yep. Nicely done though, because that removed. You would have took 7 slashing total, and what's that, like a fuck ton of psychic, essentially, is the technical term.
Like,
So not bad, Vanger. You just mitigated that damage.
can we just pause the game for 2 little seconds here? I would just like to say thank you, Vanger.
That's what he's here for.
Maybe I just said no after that. Also, so mark off a feature of that, because you can use that, well, how many times? 3 times, Vanger, total?
I can use that 3 times. Yeah.
That's pretty damn good.
It is.
Yeah.
Grave Cleric is
Yeah.
just such a nice class.
Very good. I can see why you want to like bump it up, to be honest. Right, so obviously she's not super happy about that, but she'll take her second attack with advantage against him.
Oh no. So,
19 total.
19.
And then she'll take her extra attack against you.
Does she have to?
She doesn't, but she will,
Okay.
because the rest would involve her moving. Which... tell you what, I'll do a roll, because maybe she is bitter enough.
I mean, you can do it like this.
Okay, so
Right.
Vanger, pick a number between 1 and 3.
1.
Okay, it's Eltris.
Okay.
Can I use your ability again?
I don't believe I can because it's a reaction.
Oh yeah, true enough. True enough, it is a reaction.
I'm sorry, buddy. I've done what I can here.
Yeah, as a reaction, sadly it is. Yep.
Wow.
That doesn't look like it's as good a crit, though. I mean, no, it is. It's about
It's a bit less on the psychic side.
but the top line's a bit better.
But the top
yeah.
line still halves. So what's the total?
So
What's the total of the top line?
it'll be 7 and 4. Yeah.
Is it?
Well, half
What's the total of the
13.
top line? Because it's 13 plus 9.
So half of the 13 is
22, so it's
Thirty.
11. So 11.
36 damage.
Nope, don't add it. He works differently. So 13 plus 9 is 22. Half that down to 11.
Right.
And then you take
Okay.
all of the rest.
36 damage.
I was doing it for Tom's methodology.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Wait, is that actually 36 damage? It is in
Yeah.
a calculator. Okay, so I know we don't talk mechanics and stuff. I didn't have a chance to see I was bloodied. I've got exactly 36 health. So yeah, I'm down.
Okay. So
Love you.
now read through Rage, because I don't know if it falls off. I think it does fall off when you hit unconscious, but read through it just to be sure, okay? And then pip yourself with all the other stuff that you need to for being prone and dying, which is just the skull and crossbones. Okay.
Got myself first. Got my character sheet.
Then yeah, I have no more actions to take, I don't think, in this, so I think that has me actioned out.
And
For
the
this
wee man
person.
fallen as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Those pit. Okay.
Yep.
Odd. I'll leave.
And you might be getting rid of, obviously, Rage, but you need to double check that.
Yeah, it ends early
Yeah.
if you're knocked unconscious or if your turn ends and you haven't attacked a hostile creature.
Okay, cool. So you can unpip that as well. Cool. That takes down Vanger.
Indeedly.
Yes.
So I think there's a fairly obvious path for me to take here. And I'm gonna do
Back to
much-
Menglod's camp.
no, I'm gonna do pretty much exactly what you think I'm gonna do.
Is it
And-
heal?
I'm gonna heal him. I'm gonna do more than just heal. I'm gonna move to him first.
Hmm. Oh my.
Ballsy move. I know, I'm a ballsy man.
Mm.
And I'm gonna use a level 4.
Oh my.
Level 4 cure wounds.
Look at everybody here with the level 4 spell slots today.
Well, now it's a level 4 spell slot. But it isn't 7.
Nope, it'll be maxed.
Because it would be maxed, yeah.
So it's not the 19 that
So-
shows there. It is in fact, was it 4d8? So it's 4 times 8.
It's 5. Because it's 1 plus. No, hold on.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah, it should
4.
be 48. Why is it
Uh-huh.
showing? Oh, yeah, 48 plus 3. Yeah, sorry, I was the.
Yep.
My brain doesn't work.
So what's 4 8s?
So 4/8 is 32.
36, so 39?
32, and then you're
Yeah,
adding
32.
3, so
32 is it?
35.
35.
So
my,
you
math, my mental arithmetic
Hey,
is
so
awful.
here you go, folks watching. D&D will teach you math.
Right. I have the mental arithmetic of someone who did English
The mental
literature.
arthritis is someone who.
I have the
did-
mental arthritis of someone who did English literature.
That
At
feels like it checks
Strathy,
out.
specifically.
Okay, you can remove the dying status, buddy.
But they keep the
Yeah,
prone
because
one,
yeah.
So if you can imagine how excruciatingly dumb a person would have to be to do English literature at Strathy,
What else you doing,
then
Vanguard?
that's how dumb I am. That is probably it. I don't know that there are any quick
Depends.
actions I can take.
You could just move away. You've still got 10 feet. You've been lucky before.
Do I want to?
I rolled a lot of ones against you.
She is quite an offensive powerhouse, and I don't know how much she can do as a reaction.
Mm.
But he's not going to be there to stop her just coming after me.
Mm.
Oh no, he is, because he'll be up next turn.
Yeah.
What do you think? A chance it? I think it actually makes sense to chance it here. Do, you know...
It's up to you. Whatever you want.
Yeah. I'm gonna chance it.
Hey!
Yeah.
Go for it.
Roll your dice.
I will attempt to have a wee cheeky swing, although I'll get rid of advantage because it's not advantage. And then I'll go bam. Look at that! Another one.
Does it hit?
Fucking hell. Colin, you have appeased the right gods.
Yes.
Mhm.
The Great Father.
Yes. Oh dear. I thought by mentioning it in the preamble to the roll, I would have broken the curse, but evidently I just brought on. Right, Eltris, you can stand up for a half your movement if you want.
Okay.
And you can get rid of reckless unless you want to go reckless again.
What does it exactly mean? Sorry, when you say stand up for half my movement, obviously.
What do you
so my
think that
movement-
means?
So my movement's 40 means if I want to move away just now, I could only move 20 feet, yeah?
Yeah.
Correct.
Right, okay.
But
I'm
you're
not
a
gonna-
barbarian, so when you say want to move away, you're wrong.
Yeah. I wasn't going to move anyway, so that is fine. So,
Just so we're clear on that.
what?
Says Vanguard from behind the tree with the thumbs up.
Yeah, I am the healer.
I like to believe you just put into Eltris what you had removed from the other guy.
I mean, yeah, probably. There's got to be a balance, you know.
Mhm.
So let's say I stand up, I can remove the prone thing, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
But if you wanted advantage against her, you could go reckless.
Well,
Assuming, can you if you're not raging? Actually,
I think so. I don't know.
It's
Let
next
me
progression, I
see. I
think.
can't
Yeah.
even find it. I put it in. Starting it, you can throw aside your all concern for defense, attack with fierce desperation. When you make your first attack on your turn, you can decide to attack
Yeah.
recklessly. So it gives you advantage.
doesn't say you need to be raging, but you could just activate another rage.
Well, here's what I was thinking, right?
'Kay.
How about I activate another rage?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that plan. I like it a lot.
Easily enough.
So I'll take that and I'll mark off one of my rages.
'Kay.
And if we look at Eltris on the map just now, what you can see is he's about to go on fire. See? There we go.
Yep,
So-
yep.
Super Saiyan, yeah.
With
Okay.
that,
Who within 10 feet would you like to target with your aura?
I'm thinking, see that woman in front of me?
Not the dwarf behind the tree, no.
No, he's okay. My book's
Cool.
just that woman in front of me.
I am okay.
And it is a
Yeah, I'm okay.
it's a deck saving throw. She gets advantage. And we're done. Wow.
Ah.
Bad fail.
Wow.
So if I roll 1d6 now,
So con
So,
saves
yeah.
I can do.
Jesus.
Correct, another one.
Oh, what a day.
But that's not taking away one that she didn't. No.
Exactly. That's what she
So,
didn't-
That added
can
one
miss
one less to her health. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
I did -1 to her health. That's
Yeah.
completely true. I don't know
Yes.
why you're saying that like it's a silly thing, right?
I'm just saying it because it's a thing. So anyway, what now? Now do you want to go
so-
reckless?
Oh, I don't know. Is that a bad idea? Probably not. Look at that. It's in the chat enemy. Let's do it.
Yeah, do it and be a legend.
Yeah. I feel like it's going to be like, was it Rocky 4
Right, so
maybe? Where
double
it was
one-
Never
is-
seen any of them.
Roll
I'll trust
double
you.
crit
Okay.
ones, buddy. Crit ones for days.
Right.
Crit ones.
Here we go. You ready? Going to
Crit
swing myself.
one.
And that misses, doesn't it?
It's not good.
It does miss. On this occasion. Crit ones.
Right, here we go. Second time.
Crit ones.
It's a better roll.
Is a better
one
roll.
hits.
I actually think it hits. Give me 2 seconds to double check because it might not.
I feel like I rolled a 20 earlier and it hit.
Yeah, but that was before she had haste.
Oh.
No, it does hit. You're good.
Yes. Click that button.
Because haste gives you extra AC is the reason why I had to check.
Ah.
Yeah.
So 12 damage in total. Yes!
Do you Do you want to know how much health she had left?
How much did she have? Like 2 or something?
3.
When you started this turn, she had 7 health. Then you did 1 damage to her and she was down to 6. So...
Oh,
They're
Oh.
tough, aren't they?
Oh dear. So...
so
you hear clapping over the snow.
Oh,
Sarah?
no, I don't think it is. I think it's Cynthia, but I could be wrong.
It's Sweat Tag.
I love how everyone's just like,
That-
let's just name characters from the game.
Let's just name women. Let's just name women that we know.
Yeah.
It's a Lardon.
I know some Sarahs. It could be Sarah.
Center this again. So you hear clapping over the wind, and you hear, and then eventually you see the snow prints appear. Very obviously, and I mean very obviously in the sense of clearly somebody's kicking up snow, and then their invisibility breaks, and you see Svipdag. She's just there clapping,
Interesting.
and she says, "You lay claim to the bodies."
Oh. I kind of look around at Kildrath and Vanger.
I light my pipe and lean on my shield. I thought they'd make a nice bonfire.
And she kind of gives you like a dirty look. She goes, I claim them since they were slain in Menglod's territory. Do you challenge my claim?
I don't suppose that would be very wise.
Nonetheless, it's your right.
We
Player
agreed
agency for-
to...
Yeah?
Sorry?
I was going to say player agency. Like, do we really have a need for the bodies anyway? Like, should we
No,
just-
I just don't want her to raise them, but she's going
Yeah.
to. Oh, did we lose?
They'll come
Right.
back.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, so I think Vanger is kind of... he's not going to try and start a fight here. He's done all this to... he did all that bargaining to avoid fighting with her, partly because he doesn't know that they could win. He's pretty skeptical about that, and partly because he doesn't want to waste time and resources dying against these people when they've got a world to save. So Vanger is not going to try and pick a fight, but neither is he going to pretend that he's particularly eager to see these bodies reanimated. So I'm not gonna say anything stupid unless she gets offended at something that I don't expect her to.
Yeah.
Can't guarantee that I know how she'll react to everything.
So, for Keldrath and Eltris, do you lay claim to the body and thus challenge her claim to the bodies? If Keldrath didn't hear everything, she said in the interim, since they were slain in Menglod's territory, she claims them in the name of Menglod, and if you wish to challenge it, it is your right to challenge her claim. And Vanger pretty much put his pipe in his mouth and held up a hand, essentially.
Yeah, oh no, like I was sort of like, I was making it clear that I wasn't happy with that without being overtly confrontational.
So, Eltris, Keldrath.
I think I would just kind of say that, I have no use for the bodies and probably just kind of like take a step back, just not wanting to have the confrontation, so
The corpse takes an attack of opportunity on you. No, I'm kidding.
Oh no.
Keldrath, you with us?
I'm back.
Cool. Yep. What's your position then?
I don't know whether you heard what I'd actually said, but
No.
I was actually going to say that we set fire to the bodies so that nobody could claim them, but and you beat me to it.
Yeah.
So,
I didn't hear you. Yeah. Sorry.
yeah.
But you wouldn't have had time regardless, right? Like, unless you actually have, like, immolation
Look
powers.
away from that. So
Mhm.
no, exactly.
So,
Exactly.
so does Kildrath
So,
challenge her
At
claim?
the present time, I'm too damaged to challenge her claim, and that's the only thing that's going to stop me now.
I like that. It's like,
I've
I
got
am too
23
tired.
life points. She's already defeated me. Yeah. I'll be honest to her and say that if I was in better health, I would challenge you, but I'm not. You know, we don't like the idea of reanimating the dead, but I'm in no position to argue against you.
And she just gives everyone like a kind of stoic look, and she says, "Then be done here." And she just slowly, moves the bodies into a pile, and then from like the forest around you, lumbers out a fairly large giant who picks them up, and off they walk together. And she vanishes, and so does he. After a wee while into the trees. So, anything you wish to air to each other in this moment before we
We
cut
should
to
keep
black?
moving.
Yeah.
We need to get out of this territory quickly, but one day this has to be stopped.
Yep, cool, we got it. So one day this has to be stopped. Perfect.
Be wary of what you say. We didn't see her there previously. I wonder how long she was following us. Anyway,
Indeed.
best move. We agreed to pay tribute, and did that in order to avoid conflict. Let's not go seeking it now, especially given, well, frankly, I'm not convinced we would stand much of a chance. Their current state, should we get into a fight, as you say. Frankly, I think they're quite powerful as is, so onward and upward. And he sort of raises his eyebrows and looks for confirmation to the two, or possibly narratively three, who knows, of you.
Keep moving. Focus.
And I think like as you just like we have the shot of all of you like heading off, trying to clear obviously Menglod's territory. We fade to black there on the end of the episode. So what would you like to call the episode?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna just suggest parting tribute. And there technically were three of them, so the try is doing double work there.
Ah.
Tribute, yeah, something with tribute makes sense. I have this is the I think at least one person in the group is going to be amused by this.
Okay. We've also got a leaving the territory.
Who's the person that's going to be amused by it?
I was expecting more from you, I'll be honest.
I
Leaving the
thought
territory?
I assumed it was going to be you as well, Tom. To be fair.
Territory? Come on. Classic wrestling phrasing.
It's gone.
What?
Nah, it's gone.
I don't get it. I'm sorry.
It's
so
gone.
sorry.
The territory is what you call like a region that has a specific scene,
It's
right?
dead. It's dead. Move on.
Dead.
Okay.
Apparently, my joke is deader than the
Sorry.
gift.
I'm so sorry.
Oh dear.
Remember the
Oh.
jam joke earlier?
Yeah. Yep. It works both
Like, for
ways.
instance, if I Google leaving the territory, the second result is an episode of Being the Elite.
Ooh.
What was the line you said earlier, Vanger, about not being a victim? Remember?
Oh, it was something about. I think I think you'll reconsider that description or something like that.
Okay. What's a
I think
punchy
you
title like
probably
that?
did reconsider that description.
Yeah, like what's a punchy title you can get out of that? Because that feels like maybe the pivotal title part. Right?
Reconsider that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'll bit reconsider that.
Or just
you're thinking-
reconsidered, maybe. Since it's done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that works too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, the phrase "I'll deal with you in a minute" does imply
I'll deal
10
with
rounds of waiting.
Yeah, I'll do it in a minute. Honestly, I was so pleased with that because I did then just immediately turn around and just kill him instantly.
That
I said I
Channel
would,
Divinity
and I
is so
did.
good.
It is deeply satisfying.
Also, add -1 health is pretty good too. Yep. And also, yep, Eltress has 1 less health that she didn't have before. It's so good. Wake up and live. Yep. I like this second win inspiration we've all had. It's good. Right, votes, people. Put them in. Do the thing.
I'm a notorious multi-voter, so
That one was just out of sympathy.
that's a spooky. That's what I meant to do. Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm taking back that vote. It was accidental. Hey, you're giving a fucking sympathy vote.
Sorry.
There, that's my vote. Actually, I like Reconsidered.
I like
Do
that
you want to
too.
reconsider that? You know
Okay.
something?
Okay.
Look, that's gone.
We got any more votes, folks? Because currently we have 1 winning now.
Yeah,
there
I'm
we go.
changing mine's Ryan to yours because
Okay.
after that.
So I get a pity.
Fuck you too. I hate it when people win. We should stop that. No.
Fucking hell. Right, okay. Well, Reconsidered is done. It has been choseth. So, add that into our track order. Okay. Right. Goals.
Always. We didn't reach the City of Barrows. We didn't decide the fate of the Dragon Egg. We haven't stopped the deaths. Cynthia predicted.
I'll give you.
About to.
I'll give you this one because it is essentially going to just happen between games.
Yeah,
so.
start of the next one. Nice.
And the fact that you didn't pick a fight at the end is why you're getting this.
Nice. Flea Bite put forward a compelling case the other week in the post chat, but unfortunately that doesn't count, so I have not yet been convinced to be more violent and cold-blooded. Although, to be fair, if you ask that one Gith...
oh yeah.
I'll go back and res him and ask him.
no, I don't think he's going to be doing much answering questions
so
after.
I think ultimately we've got 1, from what I can tell.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay, so move that over to the completed list, somebody.
I will do this.
Excellent. Okay. Right, so before MD does anything to their XP totals, please get more XP from that fight.
Ooh.
I'm going to give you the total XP, including the 900 from the goal. Okay, folks? So don't have added 900 already. It is a total of 3,200.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the total we're sitting at now would be 51900. Is that right?
That's why I make it.
Yeah.
Calculate her time.
Yeah.
51900. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
51,900. Boom. That's probably. Don't call that. That might be a sex line. Do those still exist in the year of our Lord 2021?
Who knows?
Or is only probably can't say that on stream supplanted them?
Exactly. So,
Probably.
anyway. Goals.
Only phones.
So, any goals changing? Because we've got loads of blanks.
I think this is something that this will be something we sort of need to workshop, because I'm very loose on what it would be. But I think at this point, at least Vanguard and Keldrath are both thinking like we need to do something about her on the way back down. Like, even if she's grown more powerful, then that's only more reason. We can't fight round, we're not ready, but maybe once we've gone dragon egged up.
Like, put the dragon egg in a
but
sock
even
and
then,
swing it.
as I say, she's likely to only have become more powerful. Necromancers tend to do that when people are dying. My inclination is that we need to have some sort of plan in place for how we're going to deal with her, or some sort of means. So I would say something like secure a means to defeat Menglod.
I mean, ultimately, it could even just be defeat Menglod until you have an idea of how to secure a means, right?
Sure.
So feel free to have that slotted in for now if you want.
So we want to put that.
Because we've still got another blank one to fill as well. Anything else come to mind? We're thinking.
How do you spell Menglod?
Menglod.
As you say it?
Yep, Menglod.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Menglod.
Menglod.
I was gonna spell it wrong just for the sake of everybody else doing it.
No, it's
Yeah.
painful.
Yeah, that's a tradition.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a painful tradition, yeah.
Every family's got a painful tradition, don't worry.
Doesn't make it okay.
This summer.
Okay, so what's the next goal? We've got our general goal for the team. What are we thinking? What's next on the agenda? I will highlight you are not far from the top.
Yay.
Which is good.
What about reach the top?
I mean,
you have that.
We have.
Oh, okay.
So from the
Were you trying to do like
conversations we've had, sorry,
And you go, Keldrath.
I was just thinking that we have the goal there to reach the city of Barris. From what I think the conversations we've had further down the hill would gain access to the city of
No, that's all
Barris.
self-contained within
Yeah.
Reach the City. Yep.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Okay.
I did state a couple of sessions back, getting outside the city, but not in, doesn't count.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Can't argue with that. Just
It's okay. Yep. But in theory, should be achievable regardless, right? In theory, since it's been on the board forever.
But only in theory, Cap.
Yep.
Am I ever going to stop saying that? Probably not.
Probably not, no. It'll be a drink-along game when we become super famous. So, what else we got on the cards then? Is it maybe talk Fleabite through hiding in fights?
How? Right. We need, I think. So what are our priorities right now? We're gonna deal with her. She's a problem. We'll deal with her later. But obviously, save the world first.
Yeah. So like, if you're wanting to think about it, like, get up to the top, decide the fate. It's up to you how you want to interpret stop the deaths that Cynthia predicted. Do you feel like you're going to do that? Do you think you're going to get up and down quick enough to do that?
Probably not.
It's up to you how you want to interpret that. I'm not here to tell you how things are going to play out.
I don't know that it's worth removing that, especially when we're struggling for other ideas, when we still don't know for a fact that we're not going to be able to do it.
Essentially what I mean by that, though, is if you go up, right, deal with the egg in whatever fashion that looks like, and you come back down, ultimately, this next area that you're going to, you have no idea about, Then you've got Menglod, Fire Giants. Then what? What was below them? Do you remember? It was the Stone
Stone
Village.
Giants.
Yep.
Yep.
And below that, it was essentially the forest.
Oh yeah.
Then it was essentially just like those giants that lived together, and then the exit,
Normal.
right? So that's like your route back, essentially.
Unless the hand gliders are.
Unless the hang gliders are a thing, yeah. And
Or we fly the dragon down.
exactly.
It
So,
hatches and is immediately massive. To be fair, dragons are magic.
Yeah.
So.
so you've also got Elorian to think about with the stone giant element, right? Let's not like overrule that, and also whatever the Stormfather's like business is as well.
Every
Yeah.
time you say Elorian, I think of Elibrian.
Yeah.
Confuses me.
Also, I'm playing a character in that Sunday game called Ilarion, which doesn't help. Yep.
Yeah.
Back to the deaths Cynthia predicted. We done our best to convince Svenglad that we were
Zvipdag and
Yes.
Menglod, yep.
Piptag.
Yep.
Yes, yeah, I got them both
It's
mixed
okay,
up there.
I got you.
I'm getting tired. I'm really, really tired. Svittag about the Gith. She's now witnessed the Gith in battle. Would that convince them that they should concentrate more on the Gith than on the Fire Giants?
It makes you wonder why they were
Probably
heading
not.
down towards them anyway, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Plus, we handled them pretty well.
Yeah.
I think also the thing is as well that we're sort of trying. What we're talking isn't just the Gith. The Gith aren't the main thrust of it. It's what the Gith are fleeing that's really the problem.
Which ironically we
But-
discussed at the start of the session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That we need to, because seeing them isn't going to convince her that what they're, because obviously it was just a few of them and we handled them quite well. But if they were a terrifying force and she was like, oh, whatever the fuck they're scared of must be scary.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I mean, keep in mind, if she had witnessed the whole fight, right? If we're making the assumption that she was there the whole time watching,
which I am.
they did down 2 of your party. So it definitely shows how threatening they are, right? Especially if she considers you guys a threat, because you've killed obviously one of hers, right?
Yeah.
So if she's doing the math, she can roughly gauge how tough these people were, based on what she witnessed. So yeah, it's not like these people are a pushover. You just happen to do fucking incredibly. So yeah.
So again, that's me just trying to buy more points.
But I mean, none of that, like, the only thing is though, without you actually going and checking, you don't know, right? Because you are going the wrong way.
I suppose then, if we are going to look that far ahead, you start the game to reach the city of Barris. Couldn't we just have one there at the moment?
I'm afraid I lost a lot of that.
2 seconds to parse it.
Thinking that if we, because you have had to reach the city of Barris, and we're getting close to the top now, couldn't we just put one in there saying escape the mountain safely?
I mean, in theory, the alternative is you assume you're going to die, right? So,
I mean,
in theory, you could.
potentially, like, if we know specifically there's a threat,
Mm-hmm.
there's some reason that we shouldn't be able to. Like,
But if there is
then-
no threat and you can just like wander out with no issue, then you wouldn't get a goal. But if there was something that was a threat, then sure. Like, so long as there is challenge involved in a goal, I don't mind it being a goal. But yeah, that could be one.
I suppose
You could always have one
that
that
would be
says
decided
build
by-
hand gliders at top of mountain. Equally could be a goal.
yeah, hang glide down. Yeah, no,
or
what-
maybe even
again,
something simple as secure transport down, because you would think they probably have some method, right?
Yeah, you'd think so. If the myths are correct, then they are advanced. So,
And we are aware of one having been down and about.
And Fleabite did travel with one, so you do
So
have
you know,
like
it's
evidence.
not like they're completely walled in there forever and never leave. They just don't let other people in.
So yeah, could be that. Yeah. So do you want like secure, safe exit from mountain? Is that
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and I'll add in the caveat that if there's no challenge to it at all and it ends up just being a conversation, you don't get a goal for it. But if there is some kind of hiccup along the way that involves it being challenging, totally get XP. I think that seems fair. All good? Cool.
Yeah.
So,
Somebody type that in.
How were we phrasing that?
A secure, safe exit from mountain, I think, was the easiest way to phrase that for now. Okay. Anybody changing their personal goals?
I know mine's a bit broad, but it's sort of my role, so I like it.
It'd be weird to have carried it this far.
Mhm.
I also feel like mine is just rubbish in general, but I don't know what to change it with. That's mad.
I mean, it'll never get explored if you don't explore it.
Yeah, it just the issue with it is I don't know where to explore it, you know, because I feel like I can't really until we come up against another Guardian, and I know that obviously Keldrath was thinking
You've
the
passed a
thingy
few,
was,
right?
yeah, but it didn't really happen until we left the
Left.
stone place.
Left.
Left the stone place, and I don't think because I think the other time I don't think I've came across another one after that. There was
Vanger can
obviously
cast sending. Could send to Alorian.
I mean, you're right. Goodness.
Oh. Let's try that next week, and we'll see what happens.
Just
What
depends.
do you want me to send?
Just depends if you want to speak to Alorian again.
Do you know why this is happening? Just send that. Also, P.S. We'll be down with the gift soon.
New sending. Who dis? Yeah. Okay. So anyone changing their goals? I don't think there. Andy is yet. Are they? Keldrath? I see
No.
yours is highlighted.
No.
Cool.
No,
Okay.
there's nothing to change it to at the moment.
Excellent. So, if that is the case, everybody's updated your totals, yeah, character-wise?
Yeah.
Excellent. And wrap-up chat time. So, do you want to start us off, Vanger? Shall we discuss how broken the combination of Path to the Grave and Inflict Wounds Upcasted is? Because I think we should. It's so good.
It is wonderful. Yeah,
Yeah.
and let me be honest, that was my fucking highlight of the set.
It was so good. Like, just
Getting
going,
to pull
no.
off the combo, as it were. I like using that ability in a more supportive capacity, but I kind of knew the way things were going. I was stuck with this guy, so I had to deal with him. So I decided to set up a move of my own. The combo worked gorgeously. Obviously, he wasn't a super powerful character, or you're not going to delete him with one spell no matter what. Problem. But it was still very satisfying, very cool moment, and it underscores that Vanger has a bit more range than maybe you normally see because he's often focused on the defensive aspects, but partly because of circumstances and partly because I think, well, not circumstances, these are both circumstances, partly because of circumstances was sort of like on the map and partly because of what we didn't have, which is to say Fleabite. I ended up being more offensive than I would normally be in terms of like actually directly going out and blowing a major spell slot on a direct damage ability rather than just using
It's hard to avoid the complete like committal that is Inflict Wounds as a spell.
Yeah. Because the thing is, like, ordinarily, I'm quite inclined to throw out a few cantrips that might give people some sort of negative effect. In this case, that I tried that early on in the hopes that that would sort of like knock her on her ass while she was stunned and she would really buggered. It didn't work out. I now sort of refocused to healing for a bit, delete, heal again. So it was a really satisfying combat for me because I got to do just a lot of the different things that my character can do.
That's good.
Obviously, Sorry, stifled the yawn.
I was going to say, it really was an exploration in your class, because we had your Path to the Grave thing come up. We had your intercepting crits move that came up, and we had...
I love that move, yes.
It's so good.
It's
But also, we got your max healing when people are downed. Twice you got to use.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I think early on in some fights, I think I used my healing too early.
Right, okay.
I think it does make sense to hold off, wait for someone to go down, just because you can get a really, really bad roll when you're rolling, say
The only-
4d4.
So the only downside to that is buffs. That's the only thing to consider when that's the case.
Yeah. Oh no, there are times where it makes a lot more sense
But
to do it.
for you, it does make the most sense to go, I can do better if I hold off.
There is
Yeah.
a bit of anti-synergy there. I think you'd be right in saying, because you're like incentivized not to do it.
But at the same time,
works,
you are definitely...
to do it by the way the class works.
But I think like at 6.5 a dozen, does the person want like more consistently good healing? In this case, they have to go through their buffs and ignore it, or do they want their buffs maintained for like less good healing?
There's a choice to be made, and sometimes the right choice will be one, and sometimes it will be the other. So I think that was interesting. That was fun. I think we all did a pretty respectable performance. We certainly, the other two tanked a lot of damage. Obviously, due to his nature, particularly Eltrus. And he seemed to put out decent damage, and of course, Keldrath was bouncing between foes, keeping one of them stunned, stunning the other.
Yeah, I was stunned for a good chunk of that fight, to be honest. So it was good.
Yeah, pretty good stunning, pretty good uptime in the stuns on both of them. So, despite the fact that there was a 1-to-1 relationship between their numbers, like there was one for each of us, which could easily become a problem because they had good offensive abilities, right? Like their swords are strong.
Yep.
They could chunk us down in a few crits, but we were able to keep the numbers game on our side effectively, even though we were equal in numbers, because there were never really three of them in action.
And from a TV show point of view, when we rewind back to the early episode where Vanguard encountered the Gith, and it was like, oh, these guys actually pack a punch, I best keep my team alive. Now we fast forward to the up-to-date episodes where you just go, it's the Gith, melt.
Yeah.
It's good. It's nice to see.
There is a character progression there. I'm sure Fleabite will be proud. Yeah, so that was interesting. I think that was a fun little combat, and we all got to do our thing, which is always fun. When you've picked like a class and a subclass, and you have certain things innate to you, just getting to do them. Because like Barbarian, almost all of their stuff is super straightforward, which is not a dig. They're barbarians. They get into a rage that allows them to absorb more damage from certain types, mainly physical sort of stacks, dodge more stuff, and hit people a little harder. Because their job is to absorb attacks and hit people. And when you get to absorb attacks and hit people, you're doing your job right.
Yep.
So yeah, like I thought that was great. I thought obviously, as I say, Keldrath was bouncing across between the two, keeping those stuns up where possible. Just lovely, nicely little fought combat. I wonder actually, Ryan, did that go about how you expected?
I would say I was impressed at how little I connected on you. That was funny, dice-wise.
The dice just liked me today.
Because I thought it was funny that obviously the first opportunity attack I got cheekily, and it was like 6. And I was like, that's fair. That's fair. I don't mind not hitting on an opportunity attack because I don't really care for them terribly as a GM. But if I can get them, I'll take them because bad guys are cheeky. And then I just kept rolling terribly against you. And I'm like, well, clearly the gods have spoken. But the guy,
you got a couple of nice hits.
I'm like, I'm not going to move him away because he doesn't hit. It's like he's, some people would be like that. If there was one guy and he kept messing on you, I'd move him to somebody else. But ultimately, I had enough to cover the group, obviously. As for pacing and stuff, I thought it was very well paced. I think the fact that we've got crazy levels of healing from you when we need it, the fact that you weren't willing to hold back was also good as well. So I think, no, it went well. It could easily have been horrendous if I'd managed to get through all the stuns, because you saw how much they can output if they land a hit. And because they get to roll multiple times, it's more chance
It was
of critting.
definitely valuable having stun and having Kildrath's ability to sort of move between them easily and keep on sort of applying stun damage.
It's
and
the
back
stun
and forth.
followed up with the fact that it grants advantage is so good for you guys in fights. It's going to be a clutch, I think, for a lot of fights, like just moving forward.
That was my main takeaway. Was that was a nice little fight. That we all sort of did our job really well. They weren't pushovers, but we had ultimate. I mean, like there were a couple of points where they had both down. That is dangerous, but we recovered.
Let's
we
put
did
it this
our
way:
job, and it worked.
She was more than a match for all of you herself. Let's put it that way. Mechanically speaking, she was more than a match for you herself. So you did very well again.
Nice. And I also thought it was quite fun in terms of character development for the reasons we sort of discussed earlier. Vanguard was like, all right, I could try and struggle through this conversation and try and convince you, but I'm not gonna. We're gonna fight. Let's just fight.
It was good. It was nice non-posturing. Yeah.
He was very reluctant to let them go, but knew he had no choice afterwards. Like, those corpses are not worth dying for. Like, we can't save them now.
And ultimately, it netted you 900 XP by not claiming them. So, not bad.
And I think it was also... It was the only sane choice considering how beaten up we were.
Yeah.
So I don't think it would make any sense for us to just try and start that fight knowing what we know about her abilities.
Never mind the giant she was with. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been
I thought that all worked really nicely. I thought character-wise, it brought us along a bit.
It was good. Yeah, it was good. Nice.
And
nice end to Menglod's territory, essentially.
It will be nice to be out of there just because it is quite stressful for me being in that zone, just because constantly I'm thinking like, well, what is Vanguard gonna do if this undead / necromancy related situation improves? Like, I'm constantly sort of thinking, how is this gonna push Vanguard out of his comfort zone and force him to do something stupid? And just not having to worry about that so much. It's a nice little bit of relief.
Yeah, because I think like literally at the edge of our territory, you were probably pushed the furthest we've seen Vanguard, given that fight. So that's definitely interesting. It's maybe nice to make it catch his breath a bit.
I think that was definitely it was a difficult thing for him to do. I enjoyed that very much.
Oh, good.
And I will cede the floor and say thanks to y'all for running.
Yeah, thank you. And Kildrath. So I like that you didn't hold back with key points. That's the right way to play. So well done.
He did not hold back.
Yeah.
It's good.
No.
And you also seem like you're getting to grips with your character as well.
I'm trying to do a bit more role play, and that was the whole point. Was Svetdag
that was good.
In the game, just in tonight's show part anyway. That was just
I liked it. It was good. It was good to have those scenes, right? And you definitely left an impression on her. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been as pleasant as she was with you. Definitely have left a good impression because you were still willing to fight.
But I don't think that's over. I'm afraid.
No,
definitely. That's as you said. As Colin said, as Vanguard said, that isn't over in my head. The fact that again, my head is gone. I am really tired. The stag screaming as we left their camp.
Yeah,
that didn't help. That really
no. That's part of what I was referring to with like the stuff that puts you on edge.
Yeah. I know I'm probably stealing some of Elfris's thunder by mentioning Thicane there, but
he's got thunder to spare. He's a thunder barbarian, so.
I'm really enjoying this. It really
good.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun to have you as well. Like you definitely seem like you're having fun, so it's good.
Yeah, as we say, my character is developing as we go along. my dragon breath tonight. I thought that would be a more powerful attack than just hitting them with my staff and taking the extra attack. So,
Plus, it was well timed because
yeah,
remember when you stun them,
it's-
obviously they auto-fill deck save, so it does give you your best chance. Like, you do have the opportunity to potentially like stun a bunch of people in a line and then just move and zap them all just because of how much scope your character has. So, yeah. A bit of setup, but it's definitely something you could do.
could do. Yeah,
It's good. It's good.
yeah, it just seemed to be the logical time to use rather than taking 1d8.
Plus,
on a
visually,
damage on the
being a
staff or
dragonborn monk
armor.
that's punching people and then just shooting
Fits,
lightning
so-
from your mouth is cool. You know? Excuse me. So visually,
Yeah.
it just looks awesome.
It's nice.
Yeah. So I say no point holding back.
As you said,
like,
if
you're
there's a
getting downed.
couple in the not at that stage, we've seen the damage that the main character was doing. Again, if I had a way of stunning the one I was fighting at the end there, if I had a key point left and had stunned him, I would have tried to put the dragon breath onto her and zap her. But again, we got the battle won.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did it. Yeah, quite successfully. A lot of XP as well. It's quite a chunk he's netted from that. So that's good.
Definitely. And as you said, Vanger's just said, I really want out of here, but only to return and put an end to it. If that makes any sense. It really is.
Yeah, it's like don't
something
quite
we
like
may not
leaving
get a
the
chance to
unfinished
do.
business. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, there is unfinished business in here, and it might take more than us. We might need the guests type thing, you know what I mean? But it's or ally up with the fire giants. But there's, in my opinion, we can't leave this as it is, and it may end up being we finish this mission and have to come back. But
That's it. Yeah, could be.
It's a future problem.
Yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad you had fun.
No,
it's good.
Yeah.
Anything else, bud?
It was. No, that's about me. It was really, really a good night. Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Technical issues aside, because obviously.
I thought I could get this microphone working.
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah.
It's been a nightmare, but we've managed through it anyway.
Yeah.
Like we got 90%. Well, maybe not 90%. Enough of what you said.
Yeah,
we got enough.
We can parse it. We're
Exactly.
good. Eltris.
I will do some research in the next couple of days and see if
Yep,
we can figure
perfect.
out what's causing it.
No worries. Eltris.
Hello.
Hello.
So, firstly, I would just like to take a minute's silence for Thicane.
Now? Like.
Yeah, now would be good. Thanks.
Like,
this is a bit delayed, I'll be honest with you.
Isn't it like a month later? Like, since that happened?
Yeah, but you know.
Yeah.
And a
He's
lot
probably
more than a
gonna
month
die
since
again.
he's actually dead, right? Like.
Yeah. Like, I can't remember how long it was. I thought it was been a month since he died. Yeah.
Oh no. At this point, no.
Yeah. Like, okay. I haven't tracked how many days it's actually been. It's been a long while, though. It has been weeks
But
and
now
weeks.
he's
Yeah.
alive again, and we missed it. So now he's alive again. He'll probably die again. So we could probably have it now. But if no one's willing to do it with me, I'll do it later off stream. Don't worry. Apart from that, I quite like this area. It's quite cool.
Very cool.
I think it might be a controversial opinion compared to what everyone's said so far. But
What do you like about it?
Just everything, just the aesthetic, the energy,
Yeah.
really good vibes, and I could see Eltris probably settling down here.
Eltris is like an ice necromancer wannabe then? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, in all seriousness though, let's get out of here quickly. That would be a cool thing to do. But yeah, quite enjoyed it.
Good.
I feel like obviously we just done the level up, and I got that brutal critical thing it's called, and I was like, oh, that seems really cool, and I really want to use that at some point, but like I'd never roll a crit, so I was really happy that I rolled a crit tonight and I got to use it because ever since I saw it when I leveled up 24 hours ago, it's all I could think about.
It's
Housing
nice when your
call.
new stuff comes up. It definitely is. Like tonight was a bit
Yeah.
of a symposium on what your characters are capable of. So
Yeah.
yeah, he's all got to kind of flex quite a nice kind of bit. I feel like he's just took the stress of this zone out on them, which was funny.
Yeah, that's probably what happened. Yeah,
Mhm. It's good.
definitely. I think also what I kind of liked was Keldrath does a thing. Is it Stunning Strike? Is that what it's called? When he was able to stun those people.
Yeah.
And I thought that was quite cool. Like I quite like that. It's quite a cool move. And I think mainly
It is.
because like obviously after that I got to have a turn and I was like, haha, I get advantage on this.
Mhm.
And like she couldn't dodge out the way of my lightning and stuff. And I was like, yeah. So if possible, Keldbrath, more of that would be cool. Quite like that. But apart from that, like I don't know, just yeah, same as usual. It was all just great fun, and thanks for having me as always. But before you say anything else, I would like to ask one question, because I feel like nobody ever asks you, Ryan. What's your thoughts on tonight?
I feel like I did share my thoughts though through it as a win. I try and throw in my 2 cents as you go.
Yeah, but now no one's going to interrupt you, and you've got the stage to yourself.
Okay, well, I definitely thought that was at least a session. Yeah, and yeah, like given that we're nearly at the top of like Mount Barras, you can now see why nobody climbs this thing because it has its own fucking like campaign arcs in it that nobody wants to deal with. So yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good to see what you do at the other side of this. It'll be good to see what happens when you reach the mythical city of Barras and what unfolds there. I'm quite excited to see that. Is it just going to be a screen wipe and you just walk away with like 1 health each and just a giant egg and the place is in flames as you just go, okay, are we building a sled for the way down or, be excited to see how you... Yeah, exactly, just guns. You go to Barras, they all use guns, it's actually just the Wild West in there. Only with elephants.
Maybe it's the GIF. It's the GIF have been pretending to be the
Baru, yeah.
Baru.
In big elephant suits. I love it. That'd be
They
hilarious.
just like glue on tusks and like a rope to their face, and no one is any the wiser.
Oh, the worst costumes ever. Yep, so good.
Listen, food fight apparently.
I mean, yeah, for ages as well. No, it was good. I really liked that session. It goes to show that you guys have a lot of good synergy as like classes, as well as players. Like you have done very, very well. That was a fight over geared again, like because I know I can make fights like tougher on you guys than the book suggests, because I know you have kind of got it in the bag. You did drop 2 people, but it wasn't like Vanguard kind of shines when people drop. So there was no issues there.
It's what I live for.
And luckily, with my terrible rolls against Vanguard, he had the breathing room to have a bit more flexibility where he was. So it was good.
No, those ones did go a long way for me.
But no, it was good. I definitely agree that the highlights for me would probably be the interaction with Vipdag. That was good. Making sure I mentioned that you were monsters and gave them Thicane to resurrect, which was horrendous. Having the scene, obviously, of Vanguard chatting away to the Gith leader, if you will, was good. I enjoyed the fact he's like, we're gonna fight anyway, so let's just, And then we got to see so many class moves, which was really fun. So many things actually triggered, which was great. Interrupting crits, getting people back on their feet from being downed, stunning strikes. We got quite a lot of those. We got loads of flurry of blows. We got the lightning breath as well. We obviously got Eltriss's brutal critical thing as well, which you just got. It was a fantastic display of everybody's characters. So yeah, no, there's my thoughts on it, and I'm excited to move on to essentially the last zone. So exciting. I'm excited. But yeah, so in conclusion, I thank you for running me. Thank you. Yes. Thank you all for playing. Thank you to everybody who watched as well. And say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.